Happy Friday, everyone. We have a couple special guests. You all know Nick O-Face. Nick O, show him the fucking O-Face.
Oh. You know what
Things go well, I might be showing her my O-Face. Oh. You know what I'm talking about. Oh.
And Michael Hastings. What's going on, gentlemen? I like the background that Nick O has. He is just... he's going full badass mode because tell him the weather right now in Illinois, Nick.
I think it's about 35 degrees. We got snow coming in overnight, and I am whiskey and espresso out on the patio with a bonfire.
That's cozy, man.
It's only 37. It's not terrible. I took the dogs on a walk, and it's a little windy, I guess. So, I mean, we're used to it. We're not bitches. Hastings, you're in the Carolinas. It's pretty nice there. What is it, 50 degrees?
70 today, man. It was good.
Oh, fuck you. We don't want to hear that. Rub it in. By the way, Hastings, also a man with a very interesting background. A lot of people have commented that, he's successful. He's got a library. He's got a goddamn ship behind him. What's the story with that painting? Did you paint it?
Actually, this is from the suburbs of Illinois. We just picked it up at Craigslist and brought it with us, man. I didn't paint it, dude. My painting looks like chicken shit, dude.
Oh, I was trying to break it down and, judge you based on the painting.
You like music? It's a real piece of shit. Oh, well, tell me what you really think.
Just the linear and impressionistic mix makes a very muddled composition. It's also a Winslow Homan ripoff, except you got Whitey rowing the boat there. That's not really what concerns me, though.
What concerns you?
It's the coloring.
You know what the real bitch of it is? It's paint by number.
Is it color by number?
Is it color by number? That's a deep dive right there. That's a deep dive clip for you guys. Anyways, we're here to talk football, not paintings, although I could talk about paintings and Hastings' weird painting all fucking night long. So let's start here, since Nick O is a giant 49ers fan, and we're going to go a little out of order here. But Nick O, give me your heart prediction and your head prediction for this game. -4.5 right now. Eagles are favored by 4.5. So what do you got?
Oh, man. I saw it open up at -3. I read an article earlier. It said -6. So you're telling me 4.5 makes me feel a little bit better about it. But obviously my heart is all Niners. I like to imagine the 5 6 weeks before the Seattle game is what's going to happen. They're going to show up with Trent Williams and Ricky Pearsall back. They're going to be able to run the ball, which will set up the pass, and hopefully squeak a few tutties in on Philly. The concern more on the other side for me is the rested Philadelphia players. They rested Saquon is terrifying. There is no linebacker left on the 49ers that started the year on their 53-man roster, and you're just not going to be able to stop the run with the injuries that they've had. And if I had to put money on it, I hate to admit it, man, but I'm terrified. I think Philly. I think Philly's where the money's at, and San Francisco's where my heart's at.
Hastings, the concern with the linebacker and just the Niners defense in general is a thing. It's been there the last, ever since Warner and Bosa went out. But do you trust the Pachulo and this knucklehead staff there in Philly to be able to exploit that weakness? Because we haven't seen it at all.
No, I'm the opposite. I'm not even doing it for views. I think the Eagles are frauds. I think they are in a situation where they don't want to be. Jalen Hurts got a concussion. I think he's still feeling that. I also think that the 49ers are desperate, and when they have rested players, which playoff time is different, I think McCaffrey's going to show up. And I also don't think the Eagles are smart enough to exploit that. I think that it's going to be a 49ers win, actually. Also, Brock Purdy is playing really well, too. I think he's the X factor in this. I think he's going to show up.
He is, and if you got Trent Williams,
do you guys throw out?
Should be good.
Do you guys throw out the performance against the Seahawks based on division game? Like that, because that was bad. That was as well as Purdy played the previous weeks, the Bears game in particular. What about that Seahawks game? Because that was the last time we saw them, and it was god awful.
it was Pleasance at left tackle is the problem. And he stepped in with no chance to get nervous against the Bears and did okay. And then he prepared all week and ready to start, and nerves got the best of him, and he was just god-awful, man. The worst offensive lineman, PFF graded, as well as watching with your eyes, man. And Purdy had no time. He couldn't get his feet set. All his balls were going high, and that's what led to a lot of his inaccuracy. So I think Trent Williams back helps with that, and I think Ricky Pearsall opening up the pass game because they don't have any great receivers besides that. Jacob Cowing coming back this week, which super quick, speedy guy, going to be able to stretch the field. I don't have a ton of hope, but between him and Pearsall and giving Purdy a little time, I think they can eat as long as they establish the run.
Is Pearsall playing, though, Hastings? Because, I don't know, the reports aren't great. The dude is just, I'm sorry, like, I love Ricky Pearsall, Nico, but, like, it appears he's just one of those guys. I'm not going to throw, like, Marshawn Lloyd's name. I'm not going to compare him to Marshawn Lloyd, who just has never played football. But Ricky Pearsall is just always injured. It's always soft tissue shit, ankle shit, knee shit. And Hastings, you think he plays in this game?
I think they're going to try and suit him up. I do. Whether or not he's 100% unknown. I'm with you on him. Something's wrong with his footfall. Again, like, he's always injured, kind of soft. But when he's out there, he stretches the field. But again, not worried about Pearsall, to be totally honest. Yeah, he's a good player, but Kittle, McCaffrey, I think that Purdy is going to show up, and I think he's going to make some superstars. Like, again, he's 0-2 on the road in playoffs in his career. I do not think he's going to go 0-3. I think he's going to make a statement here. He kind of has that swagger where he can kind of take over the game when it's a playoff. And again, I love playoff football. It is completely different. Every play is so important. Everything is heightened. The veterans understand and have been saving up for this opportunity. And again, I'm afraid of a playoff Trent Williams. Like that, it's going to be out of his mind.
And Purdy, has a chip on his shoulder from that last Philadelphia game as well, right? He's going to want to come out and prove that he can beat this team. They should have won that game and gone to the Super Bowl that year. There's a little bit of a revenge factor here for him, and he's been seeing the field really well. And like I said, it's setting up the run for the pass is, I think, the big thing. And CMC can do it. I think Niners can do it, but I'm scared. I'm a scared fan right now, man. I really am.
I get it. My last thought on the Eagles is there's two camps here, right? There's the camp of they're defending champs. We see this in the NBA all the time, where they kind of just go through the motions. Their division was so bad this year with, Jaden Daniels having the issues and Dallas just having the all-time bad defense, and then of course the Giants, who don't even need to be mentioned. They had an easy path to division. They were never going to get the bye, and it was just more like, let's go through the motions and we'll turn it on in the playoffs, which doesn't always work, but championship teams can do this. So the other camp is that this is going to be like 2023 when they had the hot start just like they had this year, and then they faltered the last 6 weeks and they lost to the Bucs in the wild card round, like handedly lost to the Bucs. So which is it, Hastings? Which is it? Is it going to be the 23, or is there a chance? Like, what is your percentage chance that they can turn it on? And all we saw in the regular season with the bad play calling, with Saquon looking, groggy, I guess you'd say, Jalen Hurts playing terrible, all that kind of stuff that didn't matter, and they're a different team in the playoffs.
I have this as one of my biggest confidence ones. 49ers win, and mark me down. Next show I'm on, you can make fun of me, but I have high confidence. Eagles are in a tailspin, in my opinion, and they limped into the playoffs. 49ers are, again, they've got some more X factor going for them. And again, I really want to hit on that. Hurts is kind of hurting. Again, concussions can last and linger for a bit. And I've got zero confidence in them. Yeah, I'm saying 49ers lock.
Nico, question for you. Question for you. So you're a fan. Let's take your fandom aside and talk about your hard-earned money. Let's say you had to put $5,000 on this game, either way, and take the odds out of it. Let's say there was an even odds game. You got to just pick the game. Money line, the same money line. Gun to your head, who you taking?
Say somebody put a gun to your head. Said, do you want your baby to be lighter or darker? What would you choose? Why is someone holding a gun to my head
It's
and
a
asking me
hypothetical.
what shade I would prefer my son to be?
I don't know. See,
Why is he putting a gun to our head?
he wants to find out what your preference is. So you're walking down the street with Will, and he snatches you into the backseat of the car, and now he's got a gun to your head. You want a lighter or a darker baby? What shade? What shade?
Get away from me.
What color is the guy holding the gun?
He's mocha, right down the middle.
Right down the middle.
50-50. You want it lighter or darker?
I would say on the lighter side.
Oh. So gun to your head, money line, Nico. Who you taking, man? With your heart, with $5,000, which is a big chunk of change.
You know what's funny? I had that exact same conversation at work today. I only made it a $10,000 bet, so it was a little more serious. But I said my money was on Philly, man. I'm scared. I don't want to bet with my heart. I don't want to be a homer. I see a world where they can win, and I see a world where Philly continues to falter. Their OC trips over his own feet, and the Niners and Purdy in what I call a revenge game or a vengeance game or what have you. They come out and they make a point, dude, and they go back to Seattle pissed off, coming off a win in Philly, and that's what I'm hoping for. But dude, I'm nervous, and it's kind of funny. I'm sure we'll segue into the Bears Packers here, but all the Bears fans, and I imagine you're one of them that's going to feel this way, are very similar. Every Bears fan I know is way more confident the Niners win than I am, and I'm way more confident the Bears win than any Bears fan that I've talked to yet.
We have Blake says, shout out Blake, media manager in the channel. Appreciate you, man. 49ers plus 5.5 on FanDuel right now. So that line's going up. That's insane.
Yeah,
that's too many points. I would definitely take the line.
Take the line for sure. Money line a little different, but if it gets to 6 or 6.5, wow.
I am for the game picks, which I hate because obviously the harder thing is picking against the spread, right? The spread, I'm taking Niners. If it was money line, like I said, even odds, which it's not, I would take Eagles to win this game. Dakota said Eagles run game will be far too much for us. He's a 49ers fan. I think that's kind of how Nico is feeling. But my thing is, do I trust them to? We saw the second half of the Bills game. I keep on referencing where they were up 13-0 and they had all 3 and outs. Jalen Hurts had 0 completions and they were just running the ball to run it, as they said. And no creativity in the run game. And Saquon Barkley, maybe he gets his legs under him. He has not had them all year. It's not like Tank Bigsby looks like the better back, which is crazy to me.
Gross.
He's not the better back. Let's just preface it with that. But like he looks, it's got the Zeke Tony Pollard thing from the Cowboys like 4 years ago, where Pollard came in the game and just made Zeke look terrible. And I guess we'll see. Fred Warner is not playing in this game. Possible NFC Championship game return is what they're targeting. But we've heard this. We heard this. Remember, Aaron Rodgers was saying he's going to come back for the playoffs when he had the Achilles. Like we've heard this time and time again. That was a dislocated ankle, right? You think he's coming back, Nico?
Man, I think so. I think he's out there running already. I think you see him on the field. I think if they make the NFC Championship, shoot him up and suit him up is what we'll do, man. Just numb everything, let him play. At this point, I'm ready for Patrick Willis to line up against Philly this week.
Trent Williams is playing, right? Someone in the comments section said he's not playing. He is playing, right? He's not going to miss this game.
He's questionable, but he practiced in full.
Dakota put $50 on Barkley, 150 plus rushing yards to win 600. So that would be about 10 to 1, 12 to 1 odds. I do like that. I don't like the 80-yard spread like line because it could just go bad. But if it does go good, I feel like this could hit for the odds. 12 to 1 sounds good, right? Hastings hates it. I get to see it. The disdain in his face.
How many 150-yard games does Saquon have this year?
None.
Maybe total yards, but I mean, I like that for the odds. I mean, there is a universe where Saquon runs over him maybe 2 years ago, but some of his legs are looking a little jello-y. And I think we're underestimating playoff time. Even third stringers are running and taking people's heads off more than regular season. Again, this is do or die time, and pain is they are not worried about any sort of bodily safety. Like the hits are going to be harder, things are going to be tougher, and I think that favors
Yeah, the 49ers far and away have the better coaching staff. You've seen what Saleh can do with nobodies all year. Eric Kendricks at linebacker is a veteran. You're not going to pull the wool over his eyes. It's not like you got a young guy out there who's going to get taken advantage of. you're just for me, you're not going to see the plays that you're used to seeing out of those defensive studs, But I don't think Kendrick is a liability. I know Kaiser White got signed. I don't expect him to play a ton, but last week they had special teamers in there at linebacker. Man, it was terrifying.
GT's asking a question for our fantasy playoff league, so I'm not going to answer because I'm in the league. It's our Patreon league. Start Keenan Allen or Dallas Goedert in full PPR.
Good.
It's a tricky one.
I think it's Goddard. I think the tight ends and the running backs both have a chance to eat in that Philly-San Francisco game, and you haven't seen much out of Allen all year. That Patriots defense is going to hold him down. I don't expect that to be a super high-scoring game.
Would agree with that. Yeah, I'm going to agree with that. It really depends on what you think of the Chargers' chances versus the Patriots. I actually am taking the Chargers in this one, but I also don't think Keenan Allen's going to be fed the ball. He might have a clutch third down, like 14-yard, catch here and there. Not a game breaker for me. I think Goedert has, again, I think the tight ends are gonna be fed.
Mikey's comment here, that's all on the play caller. KP needs to go. And okay, Kevin Pachulo is terrible. I get there's a lot of bad offensive coordinators. But I feel like Eagles fans in particular are looking for a scapegoat, and no one ever points the finger at fucking Jalen Hurts. He is like, everyone around the league does almost too much, but like Eagles fans, people in Philly, you can't touch that guy. He is untouchable. Like, dude, Patrick Mahomes played really bad for a 2-year stretch. Patrick Mahomes played bad. Jalen Hurts is playing really bad. He hasn't really been good ever in terms of a passer. Like, I know numbers are just numbers, but he has the same exact passing numbers as Kyler Murray. That's just straight up fact. And he has A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert, awesome offensive line, Saquon Barkley behind him. Even before that, with DeAndre Swift had a good year behind him. So is this all on Kevin Pachulo, guys, this issue with the Eagles? We got to move off the Eagles. I just want this last question. Is it all on Pachulo and Sirianni, or where's the blame? Like, how do you distribute the blame? Is it more on Hurts or on the offensive play calling?
I mean, go ahead, Nick.
I think you saw Hurts do it last year with Kellen Moore, and that's the change, and that's what everybody's seeing. The variable, the difference is the new OC this year when they're struggling. So Hurts didn't change, and he's struggling. The OC did. It's straight logic, and on its face, I think that makes sense. But as a whole, if the Philadelphia Eagles are not running the ball well, Hurts isn't going to pass well. He needs to lean on the play action. He needs to lean on the rollouts and a lot of those things to establish the pass. When you make him be a pure passer and you stop the run, that's where he struggles, and that's where he's not doing anything. And comparing him to Kyler, a guy that may be cut from his team versus the god that the Philly fans think Hurts is nuts to me.
But the numbers do say that they're the same. I mean, I'm saying they are the same in terms of statistical passing numbers. Everything is the same across the board.
I think that's a fair comparison. You know where I stand on Hurts, and it's kind of hard to have something work out under Kellen Moore. Teams get tape on you. They understand what's going on with that. I'm with Simmons. I think the blame is on Hurts, and it's not the coaching. It's just that's what all Hurts can do, really. Again, one of the worst mechanics I've seen throwing. Some of his vision choices and just how he sees the field. I've seen him miss many open attempts. He squats 700 pounds, guys. He's going to take us to the. He's going to take us to the
tush push.
He squats.
The tush push was the weapon, right? And I'm not taking anything against Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, like the offensive line and everything, made the tush push, but Jalen Hurts was the engine behind the tush push because he's a starting quarterback that's a monster that you don't worry about getting hurt, and that's where he was a unicorn, right? And that has taken a toll on his body. So his athleticism and his speed is probably 30% less than it was 3 years ago. And he was never, he was just always like above average athletic with his size. It was good. Now he is like, dude, he does not look like the same player when he gets around the edge. No. Like he does not look like the same.
You've seen that play fade this year too. You don't see the success out of the tush push that you have in years past. And part of that is teams are learning how to defend it a little bit, but it also goes back to your Allen versus Goddard question. I think Goddard has all the touchdowns he does because they're struggling with the tush push this year. And they're struggling because Hurts is breaking down.
Hurts is statistically one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the NFL. What are you guys talking about? Well, here's the difference: is Jalen Hurts has AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and the best run game the last 4 years. So like, he's actually not the most accurate. Like, I don't know. Like Drake May is 72% this year. He doesn't throw. The volume's low, and they're layups. They're all layups. Like, put him on the Bills and see what happens. Like, switch places with Josh Allen and try to throw to Brandon Cooks and Gabe Davis. Like, it would not look good. It would be awful. And again, numbers don't tell the whole story. But unfortunately, Kyler Murray has the same numbers as Jalen Hurts. Like, look it up, man. Blake, back me up, Blake. Back me up, Blake. Blake sent the thing to the Discord. It was like identical, bro. If you like, they like put the question mark on the guy's head and you don't know, it's like comparing player A to player B. And all it was Jalen Hurts' rushing touchdowns are a lot higher and his interceptions are a little lower because the passing volume's lower. All right, we got to move on though and talk about the Bears. So Bears were -1.5 to open. Now it's Packers -1.5. So Hastings, I got to get your take on this one first because you are a Bears fan. I'm a Bears fan, but we're not diehard Bears fans. Tell me you're taking the Packers in this game.
Oh man, this is again. It's gonna be a dogfight. It is. Bears X factor. Ben Johnson. Like, is he going to solidify his legacy? I think he's got the weapons to do it. I think the roster on the Packers is a little bit better. But side note, can you imagine if the Packers had Tucker Kraft and Micah Parsons still going? We would be in a different situation here. This is the time for the Bears to do it. Now, it's also Caleb Williams' time right now. This is going to be, what can Caleb do when his offensive line is not doing anything? Can he extend it smartly? Can he finally throw away the pass where he knows he's sacked? Just live another day. I am going to go with the Bears, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see another overtime, really. I also think Love is just a tad overrated. But again, Bears D needs to step up. It's going to be a dogfight. Again, these teams, the history, probably a lot of the homer speaking in me for the Bears. But, if I had a gun to my head, I'm taking the Bears.
What do you got, Nico?
I respect that take, man. And gun to the head, I wasn't as confident about my team. So I love that. But for me, you watched Chicago win the last time Green Bay came there, and they can do it again. This Green Bay team's been falling apart. They've been taking a lot of injuries, as well as they haven't been playing good football recently. And I think Chicago takes advantage of that. I think Ben Johnson takes advantage of that. Caleb should have time to throw. You've continued to see him grow as a passer. And that offense with Loveland, too, he doesn't seem like he's hit a rookie wall. You've got him and Komet both going. You've got good receivers there. You've seen Doomsday show out. You still got more who we spoke to a little bit earlier with the veterans in the playoffs, right? These guys that have been there, they're dogs, man. They go to another level. They lay it all out. Simmons and I have been DJ Moore lovers for years here. And I think he's going to show out, and I think Caleb's going to do his thing. I think the Packers are going to struggle to get pressure, and I think Love has played more inconsistently than the Packers fans would admit. And the Bears pull out a home W, man. I'm confident with this one. I'm putting my 5 Gs on Chicago here.
God, I can't do it just because the way the Bears have been winning these games, it's not sustainable. I'm worried about the defense and Jordan Love, who I'm not. It's weird. Like, Green Bay fans think I trash Jordan Love, and then obviously Bears fans think I'm in love with Jordan Love. Like, it's weird because I'm neither. I just think he's a pretty good quarterback. He's a good quarterback. He's a professional quarterback. He's got the Bears number, man. He converts big plays against us. He gets a lot of third downs against us. I know Wicks is going to miss this game, but Christian Watson being there is huge, man. He's healthy again. I just don't trust our defense, and Josh Jacobs getting that week off. If they get a healthy Jacobs in this game, I'm going Packers. I hate it. I think it's not a game I'm willing to bet because I feel like it's a toss-up. I feel like this and the Bills game are so close, so tough. I can see either way. I could also see overtime, like Hastings said.
But you got a gun to your head. You got to make the call, Simmons. Gun to your head.
I'm going Packers.
See, that's how I felt as a Niner fan, man. And they're getting the healthy Jacobs, and Philly's getting the rested Saquon. It's pretty similar situations. So I see where you're coming from, but I watched the Bears in a shootout with those Niners, man. That offense can move the ball. They're capable of it. And the Packers defense doesn't scare me. I think if you get Gordon back on defense for the Bears too, that's a game changer. I mean, Watson had a good game in Green Bay against Chicago. And I don't love that he's ready and willing to go, but I think if we get the Bears get Gordon in there, you'll be all right, man.
All right, let's move on to the first game here. Rams at Panthers. Rams minus 10.5, minus 11, depending on the betting site you're using. Over under 46. So, Hastings, which way would you bet this game? Because 10.5 is a fuckload for a road playoff game. So it's a lot for a home playoff game, but a road playoff game, holy shit. Cross country.
Yeah, this one, again, I think the Panthers are one of the worst teams in the entire field right now. I think McVay is very good, and him and Stafford know what to do, turn it on playoff times. I would go over on this. That was how I would bet it because, again, the Panthers plus 10 is really enticing. But I also could see a 45-13, just romping. Puka Nacua, too much offense on the Rams. And, again, McVay he's an arrogant guy. He wants to be back at the Super Bowl. Like, he wants to be back, and I don't think anything's stopping him. So, again, Panthers – hey, they're an interesting up and up team. Not gonna rip on them too much, but again, the plus 10 is enticing because that's a ton. But also, I'd go on the overs for this one. But Rams win 37. They're putting up 35 points, easy.
I agree, Nick. It was November 30th. It was a weather game in Carolina when Carolina actually beat the Rams. And that was before Devontae Adams got hurt, so they had Devontae Adams in this game. And it was a really wacky game. Stafford threw 2 picks in the first quarter, including one that was deflected at the line of scrimmage. I think he doubled his interception. So going into the game, he had 2 picks all year. There was 2 picks in the first quarter. It was a really close game. The difference was the Panthers ran the ball down the throat of the Rams, and it was time of possession, and it was just a really mucky game. Are they capable of mucking it up to that degree again? Because the Panthers' run game has not been good the last 3 weeks. And I don't know how to. Like, they had 15 yards rushing against the Buccaneers, which they had a struggling run defense going into that game.
Yeah, exactly. You did see it, right? And that's what a lot of people are pointing at is, we saw the Panthers beat this team already, and I don't think that means anything other than fuel to the McVay and the Stafford fire, man. I think the Rams are going to come out just full throttle, man, foot all the way down. They are going to just hammer the Panthers, not even let them have a chance to get in this game. Panthers limped in with a losing record on a win by a division opponent. Like, it was a goofy way to get in. They got that whole division has no business being in the playoffs. The Rams got a bad taste in their mouth from losing to this team previously. This is the most confident game I have this weekend, and I think the Rams roll them by 2 touchdowns plus, man. Easy.
Who is the worst team? So, Hastings, you mentioned they're clearly the worst or second worst because there's only 2 options. It's the Steelers and the Panthers. Who do you have more faith in a vacuum as a team? Now, Aaron Rodgers has the experience, but he's old, has a broken bone in his left hand. Is it the Panthers you have more faith in, regardless of the matchup? Obviously, the matchup's tougher against the Rams, but just in general, if they had to play each other, who would you take to win that game?
Steelers, big time, absolutely.
Dude, the Steelers who lost to the Browns though in week 17 had a chance to clinch. They lost to the Browns. They scored 6 points against the Browns.
Dude, Rodgers knew he was going to get in the playoffs. He didn't care. He's like, I'm done.
He knew that he knew they were going to miss a field goal, right? He knew Luke was going to. Come on, get out of here with that shit. I can see but it's not. Is it that far off? Is the Steelers that much better than the Panthers? Because the Panthers have beaten some juggernauts this year. Not just that game. The Panthers beat who else? They beat 3 playoff teams this year. They beat them soundly. So it wasn't just the Rams.
That's true. Sometimes, again, if you're going to play the special education team, you take the night off and you party before. That happened 3 times this year for the Panthers. The teams underestimated them. You still got to show up. I think, again, Bryce Young can't even see over the line. Like, my goodness, he's tossing it, good spiral and all. But again, I question I think the Steelers have it more. The Steelers tight end, Washington, is absolute monster too. I think
he's out.
He's out. Oh man.
Oh yeah, he's been out. I'm saying that's a big loss, man. Now you have DK Metcalf coming back in this game. My argument, we're gonna get to this game later. My argument is you have Stingley, who's a god. So one last thought on the Rams game. So we're all taking the Rams. Obviously, we're not gonna pick the game here because it's obvious. But in terms of the spread, would you have the balls to take the 10.5 points? Where the nice thing is, it's a weird thing at home. They could be down. The Panthers could be down 17 points and cover, which is in the NFL, like that's a nice little feather in your cap. But is that enough for you to want to take the points? Or are you just going to say, fuck it, I'm betting the Rams. They have to, minus 10.5.
I'm taking the Rams all day, man. Minus 10.5.
Okay, so we're all in agreement. I don't think I would, but if I had to bet it, I would do that because that's just a lot of points. And like I said, the 17-point backdoor cover. It's not a 2-score, it's a 3-score backdoor cover, which is a little scary. And I think the Rams are their heads in the right place here. They want to get right. They've kind of struggled, the last 3 weeks. I feel like this is a get right spot for them. Where I always say this: I think there's sometimes an advantage in not having the bye. In this case, the Rams essentially have a bye. It's like an exhibition game where they just get to fuck around, get Devontae Adams back acclimated, and opposed to sitting there for a week like the Seahawks, where I like this situation. Now, where I don't like it is with a team like the Bills, where it's like, this is not a bye. This is a road game against the hottest team in football, right? 8 straight wins for the Jaguars. So we have Bills at Jaguars. Bills are -1. They're still favored. That's a Josh Allen line right there for you. Over under 51.5. So Hastings, I'm curious to hear what you say because I want to take the Bills so bad. I want to bet on the Bills. I want to bet on Josh Allen. This has to be the year, right? No Mahomes, no Lamar. You got nothing in his way, really. No favorite in the AFC. But the problem is his team is dog shit.
If you're on the Bills wagon, say bye to your money. That's my view. I think the numbers speak. And the Buffalo curse is real. Josh Allen, road playoff wins, career, 0.
Okay. That's not good. But Jacksonville doesn't have a lot of fans.
Right?
I'm just saying, maybe they do now, but
Bills Mafia is going to show up at that stadium. They're in the same time zone, which I didn't get to in the last game. I don't want to sleep on that fact. West Coast teams coming all the way to the East Coast, having to play early games. They tend to be a little lethargic, and the Rams are doing that, but Buffalo's not, man. They're staying on the East Coast. Jacksonville's playing really hot football. My money is on Jacksonville. I'm surprised the Bills are a favorite. But my heart is all Buffalo, man. Josh Allen has seemed to step up in big spots in the playoffs, and he's always had another star to outshine him. I don't see that star on Jacksonville. I don't think a first-time head coach coming into the playoffs, hot or not in a regular season, I don't think it's going to be enough, man. And I think the Bills can win. This is the game I'm most conflicted about. This is the one I have the hardest time betting outside of the over. I do like the over in this, but Josh Allen can show out, man. Even if the Jags have been playing the best all-around football right now, they haven't been there before, and that might be a problem.
I saw you shaking your head, Hastings.
I would say, have you seen Trevor Lawrence lately? He is looking extremely polished. Positive plays. He's got some assets out there to throw to. The defense is better on the Jags, in my opinion. And again, 99 passer rating in the last 10 games, 20 TDs for Trevor Lawrence in the last 10 games. Josh Allen in road playoff games, pulling up some stats right now, apparently has more interceptions than TDs in his road playoff games. I am very much backing Buffalo to get harvested by the Jaguars. The fan base is going to be gloomy after this one. But again, Josh Allen can still play out and lose. I also think, I question, people call him a competitor, he's good. I think he also kind of has his mind on the golf course too. Yeah, I said it. I think he's worrying about his movie star wife a lot. But no, I'm taking the Jags. Look, Trevor Lawrence, he's playing out of his mind too, and I think people are low key sleeping on him. He is making some serious smart decisions in the backfield and turning everything positive. So yeah,
I'm still picking the Bills, but here's why I'm not betting it. If I knew Josh Allen was 100% healthy right now, I'm taking the Bills. But you multiple injuries, and I said this on the last couple streams. I have a really big feeling that after this year, whether it be Sunday, whether it be in 3 weeks, if they make it to the Super Bowl, they're you always hear this with these players that after the year you heard it with St. Brown last year where he had the knee surgery and he played through it. Josh Allen's one of those guys, right, where he might have multiple broken bones, ligament damage, we don't know. And Josh Allen is so good and such a beast that he can still be effective, and he shows up, right? And that's my worry is if Josh Allen is 70% right now, this could be a bloodbath because he's a one-man show outside of James Cook, and James Cook could be taken out of games. And if Josh Allen is not running and not willing to take the hits, which I know it's the playoffs, he probably will, but like there's levels to that. And if he's not 100%, I don't think there's a chance. Like this has to be a Josh Allen epic game. And how many Josh Allen epic games in the playoffs have we seen the Bills lose? Now that was usually the hands of Patrick Mahomes, but like that game, the overtime game that changed the rule where both teams got to possess the ball.
Yeah.
Like that was probably the best game I've ever seen a quarterback play. And that was a loss. I'm saying and that was a better Bills team than this team. Currently, I would say that was a better all-around team, better defense, better weapons for sure. So that's the worry with the Bills, but it's like, do I really want to bet money against Josh Allen? And Trevor Lawrence could turn into a pumpkin. Now, it would just be a one-game pumpkin. I still love Trevor Lawrence. I've been backing Trevor Lawrence since the fantasy drafts. I had him everywhere. Always was a defender of Trevor Lawrence because of the situations he's had to deal with, right? Urban Meyer, even who's the clown from Philly that they had?
Don't even remember.
Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson's kind of a clown.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's had bad coaching. Jacksonville's a bad franchise. So I was always kind of blaming everyone else. And this is the true Trevor Lawrence. He finally started running. He finally started using his unicorn skill set, which is a 6'6" guy that runs like a gazelle, that has a good arm, and simplifying the game. That's what Liam Cohen has done. He's simplified it for Trevor Lawrence. He's not throwing picks in the red zone because he's actually, hey, guess what? I can just run for 8 yards instead of trying to throw it in a tight window. But I'm still not betting against Josh Allen, so I'm staying away in this game. I don't have a single bet in this game, actually.
I'm definitely laying down some on the Jags. I've got one stat for you. Last 4 seasons, home underdogs in the playoffs are 11-2. Yeah,
they shouldn't be. It shouldn't be an underdog, man. I'm with you.
I think the Bills Mafia is heavily skewing the betting trends. But they're a home underdog right now too. And so if you believe in the stats, like this is a profitable position to be in. But yeah, again, Trevor Lawrence, his EPA per play is close to Patrick Mahomes during this 8-game stretch. He is on fire. And again, he's not throwing to duds out there. Some of those people are, Brian Thomas, Jacoby Myers, and
Parker Washington's been crushing ass. Dude.
Washington and even Strange can open it up for him. People are sleeping on Brenton Strange, dude. The guy, he's got some targets. And again, the line is, I would say, mediocre right now. But again, when Trevor Lawrence sees somebody coming at him 2 feet away, he'll throw it away. Or like you're saying, he's starting to run and guess what? He's getting 6-7 yards, even longer. Like it's going to be
9 rushing touchdowns for Trevor Lawrence this year. 9 rushing touchdowns. Who had that in their fucking bingo card, dude? Like that's crazy. That's more than he had. I bet that's as many as he had for his entire career. You know what I mean? And like that's just wild. All right, we got to get to the last 2 games. What do you got? Hastings? I
was going to say real quick, something's fishy about Cohen, in my opinion, in a bad way. I'm not sure if he's legit and he's the cause of a lot of this. He kind of looks like he's not in the right place sometimes. But so far, so good.
No, he's the cause. You want me to tell you why he's the cause, Hastings? It's the same thing with Ben Johnson, and this is how I know they're good coaches. yes, their impact on their teams is elite, what they're having. Look at the other two teams. Now, the Lions, their offense was still pretty good this year. It was not what it was the previous year, especially their run game, right? And the Bears' run game. But it's Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay EPA per play you mentioned were like number 3 last year. They were like low 20s this year with the same cast of characters, and they added Ibuka. Now, they had some injuries in the wide receiver core, but like, and Bucky was down. But like, all across the board, the Buccaneers' offense just went to shit. And like, I'm going to attribute that to Cohen, man. And then and it's just like, that's one thing. And then look at Trevor Lawrence, who he's had, this is not like his 3rd year in the league. He's been around for a while, and he looks like a different player. Totally. The running schemes with ETN, like everything is just, that's how I know Liam Cohen's a good coach. This is how I know Ben Johnson. I knew Ben Johnson was a good coordinator, but clearly he's a good head coach. All right, I got to hit you guys with the intro. We'll get to the last 2 games after this. Sorry about the Michael Jackson thing. I just love putting Michael Jackson's mugshot, which is my favorite mugshot of all mugshots, right? Is there anything better than that?
So creepy. Is that even Michael Jackson at this point? I was doing some deep rabbit hole dives on that.
No, it was him. That was him. You're saying it was like a body double for Michael Jackson?
If you guys remember, there was a big accident on set during a Pepsi shoot, and Michael Jackson was like initially reported to be severely injured during that. They had his face covered, and then after that, he started to really act wacky. His skin turned white, his nose, all of that stuff.
Oh, so is this like a Beatles thing where he died? Michael Jackson died? Or is this a Hitler thing where Hitler didn't die and he just lived in South America? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Michael Jackson was worth billions and employed billions, and was highly. He had a world tour set. Like, they had to get somebody in there quick, but whatever you want to call it, a clone.
Wow. What year was this Pepsi accident? Was this like early 90s?
90s, I think, yeah. But look at the photos, like the initial, you see the real photo of Michael. He's fully covered in like a blanket. You can only see his eyes. Like, and then after that, they have like he's fine, everybody. And then he starts just acting real weird.
Joe Blacko, Black MJ was the best.
Yeah, Black dude.
Yeah,
oh my God.
That was before he went down a dark rabbit. Now, again, innocent until proven guilty. Unfortunately, when you pay somebody hundreds of $1 million to be quiet, and there's multiple scandals with children, and it's documented he was in bed with a child for 900 straight days. That's just weird. First of all, like, that's a crime in itself, bro. Don't sleep with other people's children, even if there's no sex involved. Weird shit.
MJ, that wasn't Black MJ.
No. That was white MJ. Yeah, but I'm saying, like, oh, you think that the skin dye fucking seeped into his brain? Is that what you're saying? I could talk MJ all day long. I want to talk Michael Jordan. I want to talk Michael Jackson. Any MJ. I'll talk OJ. Any J. I'm talking about. Jay and Silent Bob. Dr. J. Let's do it. Okay.
What about
real
TJ?
Quick, I want to go through my bet.
TJ Watt.
TJ Watt, super overrated. We all agree with that, right? Not worth the money.
I love all the Watt brothers, man. I'm a homer for them.
Is he worth the money, though? Dude, I know why you like him. He's a Wisconsin boy. You son of a bitch.
You betcha.
I'm not stupid.
You betcha.
Not worth the money, though. TJ Watt, not worth the money. Like, Myles Garrett's a much better player. You guys all agree with that?
Myles Garrett is a Hall of Famer. Probably the best defensive player I think I've witnessed in a long time. Probably since Reggie White, in my opinion.
Since J.J. Watt.
J.J. Watt was overrated. Sorry.
Faded, no chance I said what, because I just said a lot of shit there. So that could be one of 5 comments I just made that may have offended you, or that's what you're gonna get from the show. This is why I put in the description that these guys are my babysitters, because you got to rein me in sometimes. Even though I'm the host, it's funny, I need you guys to rein my ass in. Although I will not be silenced. You cannot mute me, you cannot boot me. I can mute your asses, but I won't do it.
TJ Watt is a stat pumper sometimes too, dude. Getting he is triple blocked a lot. I'll
say this. TJ Watt's the biggest splash playmaker I've ever seen at the position, where it's the interceptions. It's a sack. Every sack is pretty much a sack fumble. Like it's always a strip sack. So I do love that. It's touchdowns. It's if you take away the big plays, though, TJ Watt, I know that's like a big if. His impact is much more minimal than a guy like Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons, some of these guys that have the higher pressure rates. And quarterback hurries and quarterback hits are the most underrated stat in football. Right, Nico?
It absolutely is, and I want a world where you start getting points for that shit in fantasy because it definitely makes a huge impact in the game.
Big time.
And again, when I was hating on TJ Watt, I was hating on the contract because of the age. I feel like him being the highest paid defensive, I know you have to do it with these guys. You know, everyone's always the highest paid till the next guy comes forward. Exactly. But that was just not a good contract. It was not a good contract because that defense has so many holes. And Myles Garrett, you had to pay. Myles Garrett is that dude. And you know, Micah Parsons is what, 26 years old? That's the difference.
No, I hear you. The contract wasn't great, but I don't see where they had much option in it. And TJ, like I said earlier, it's like a Ricky Bobby type, man. If you ain't first, you're last. Like he's either it's everything or it's nothing.
Damn straight.
Hey, you ever accidentally masturbate to young pictures of your mom?
Who the fuck starts a conversation like that? I just sat down.
All right, here comes the bets. I only have 4 plays this week. Again, I only do prop bets. I don't fuck with lines, so we'll get to the 4 bets here. I might add one more. 86 and 51 in the year, guys. We had a rough 2-week stretch to end the year, so we're looking to bounce back. Puka Nacua over 88.5 receiving yards. Jahan Dotson over 6.5 receiving yards. Really wacky one there. Ladd McConkey over 3.5 receptions. Now that is up to like minus 150. So you can't really get those odds anymore. All the more reason to get in the Patreon, boys. You get these odds when I bet them. And Aaron Rodgers under 210 passing yards. We have not talked about that game yet. Hastings, give me your favorite and your least favorite of those 4 plays.
Man, Ladd McConkey's going to get 5 to 6 receptions, maybe 7 targets.
He's been awful, though. Preface it with how bad he's been.
I will preface with that. He did start the year off pretty darn hot. It's time to bounce back in the playoffs. I'd say I'd like that one. I like Puka Nacua over 88 as well. I think we've all said the Rams are gonna put on a show. Puka's gonna have 100. There'll be plenty of other. You might even do Devontae Adams over 75 as well. Like Stafford's gonna have like
54.5.
Yeah, no, I like that, but I'd say Puka, Ladd. The Dotson one scares me. That's that's tempting at just 6.5. But I think Aaron Rodgers under only 200 as well. Kind of like them all. But
210 under 210. And the thing is, Caleb Williams has essentially the same line. It's like Aaron Rodgers against that Texans defense. It's probably a DK Metcalf thing, right? Even though DK Metcalf's been pretty much terrible all year outside the red zone.
Yeah, I also cold weather game might lend itself to a little more running for Rodgers as well, and that kind of leads it in. Yeah, I would say I think Puka's the strongest on there, but I do like Ladd.
So Dotson's the weird one. I just thought playoff Dotson and what they do. I remember he should have had the first touchdown in the Super Bowl last year, and he plays 60% of the snaps. So I like that. Now everyone's just assuming they're going to run the ball down the throat of the 49ers, but you're seeing to think that the game script is good for Dotson. That's kind of where I was leaning. Close game, 1-score game. Eagles actually are really high in terms of neutral pass rate this year. And this is a 30-plus pass attempt game for Jalen Hurts in my mind. Nick O, what do you think, man? Favorite and least favorite?
Favorite's the McConkey, man. I think that's an easy W right there. I like that bet a lot. Like you said, the odds been shifting because like we said earlier, Keenan Allen's just not the guy. McConkey struggling or not, doesn't matter to me. Herbert coming back after a week of rest, hopefully seeing the field right. And I like his matchup a little bit better. The Dotson, man, that's a random one. I got a little trouble getting behind it, but for that lower yards, why not? I think the Rodgers one's where you're off, man. I think Rodgers would be over those yards. I understand the Texans defense and how good they are. But it's playoff football. Rodgers has been there. Weather's not going to slow him down. And if they have any chance to be in this game, he's going to be over those yards passing.
See, I had the opposite thought. I think the only way to beat the Texans, you saw this in the game against the Raiders when the Raiders should have beat the Texans 3 weeks ago, was through the ground game. And you have to neutralize the pass rush for one. And for two, their secondary is just too elite. And if you just drop Aaron Rodgers back 37 times and you expect him to A, finish this game and B, be effective, you are crazy. It's also Mike Tomlin, which he might do this shit, and Arthur Smith. But I just Darnell Washington's a big loss. I know DK coming back. I think Stingley is the second best corner in football. And there's playmakers in all three levels. And those edges, man, like look at the game against Baltimore. When there was two games in that one game. It was game with Kyle Hamilton, and then when Kyle Hamilton left the game, everything shifted, right? And Kyle Hamilton's not exactly the best cover guy in the league, but he just makes that defense go. And without Kyle Hamilton, that's when Aaron Rodgers was dominating. But like before the Kyle Hamilton injury, Aaron that passing game was just awful. I go back to the game against the Browns where they scored 6 points. So I can't wait to talk about this game. Let's talk about Chargers Patriots first, though. This is a juicy one, and I think I know where Hastings is going this one. Chargers plus 3.5 on the road, over under 45.5. Nico, what's your take on this game? Patriots, one win against winning teams this year, fourth place schedule, played some good defenses, but again, it's been a pretty, let's not forget, this is the funniest thing ever. The Patriots lost week 1 to the Raiders. I think everyone forgets this. One of their losses was against the Raiders week 1. So it's been a fairy tale season for Drake May, for Mike Vrabel, for everyone in New England. Does it end here? Because it's not a good matchup against the Chargers. I think the Chargers with Harbaugh, it's a tough matchup, man.
I think if the Chargers O-line was completely healthy coming into this and you had everybody there, maybe it's a different story. And I get the Patriots have only beat one team with a winning record. I saw the stat the other day that the Jets have twice as many wins against teams over 500 than the Patriots do, which is hilarious. But I think the Patriots at home with Mike Vrabel, tough-nosed coach, man, been there before, going to be representing. I think he finds a way to win. I think that defense holds up, and Patriots pull out a squeaker, man. It's going to be a close game. This is a tough one to call. Jim Harbaugh's obviously been there before too, and the Chargers been playing some good ball, but traveling all the way to the East Coast and playing in New England, I think is a difference maker for me. I'm going to lean Patriots.
Hastings, what do you got?
Nick, I love the West Coast time change angle because a lot of data is coming out that actually it's a huge disadvantage to do that. A lot of teams that travel switch time zones have some difficulty. But I think you said it earlier. Patriots had a cupcake schedule. Drake May's passing against garbage teams. Yeah, they had a nice fairy tale season. They had some suffering for the last years after decades of dominance, but I do think this is where it ends. Herbert is not – he's been here a long time now. It's time for him to step up. I think they've got better. I think Harbaugh is a tough coach, game coach, playoff coach. And again, I think Herbert's going to be distributing. I think he's going to show up as well. I think Ladd McConkey's going to show up too. I think Ladd and if they can get some run going with, Kamani or Hampton, again, I think it's going to be tough. Again, if the Chargers get the run going, it's going to be tough to stop Herbert. I think he's been here long enough. I think they're ready to go.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I like the take, and I want the Chargers. Don't get me wrong, but if I got to pick, man, I'm leaning, but it's tough. And like you said, it's going to hinge on that run game.
Nico, would you take, in terms of the spread, would you take the Chargers plus 3.5 though, getting the hook?
I think so. I really do. I think either team isn't going to win by more than 3. So I'll take the point.
My worry with the Patriots, so I'd be picking the Patriots if it was just, a confidence pool or something. It wouldn't be that much confidence. My worry is 2 things. The Patriots have not had to deal, like the Bears, for instance, are the opposite. They had so much adversity this year, so many games where it was like clutch victories, losing in the fourth quarter by 2 scores, stuff like that. The Patriots haven't had many of those. It's been a pretty much like a fairy tale season. It was going so smooth that you take away that Raiders game week 1. And then I go back to the Bills game. I know it was a divisional game, second time they played. They were up 24 points at halftime, and they scored 0 points in the second half. And Drake May has been taking care of the ball at an all-time clip this year. For, as much as we love Drake May, I love Drake May, he is prone to turnovers, fumbles in particular. And I feel like the Chargers defense is pretty underrated. It doesn't have a lot of big names, but they're a good unit, and Harbaugh's a good coach. And nothing against Vrabel, but I could see some turnovers from Drake May, and we haven't seen them have to come from behind at all this year. So if they get in a little bit of a hole, Chargers are great playing with a lead. And that's my concern. Now, I'm still picking the Patriots, but it's with the spread, I would probably take the Chargers getting the hook. But would it surprise me if it was a 31-10 game, right, in the third quarter and the Patriots are just rolling? Now, let's not forget, we have Matt Collins out in this game. We have there's a couple other injuries too. So like their wide receiver core is super thin right now. Keyshawn Boutte actually is questionable for this game. So if there's no Boutte, no Matt Collins, you're looking at rookie and Kyle Williams. You're looking at Demario Douglas, who's a slot guy, Stephon Diggs, and Hunter Henry. Like that's not exactly, a fucking world-class receiving core.
No, and to Hastings' point, Herbert's been there a while, man. He's been in these games. He's had to fight through adversity and all the ups and downs, and we haven't seen May get battle-tested in the NFL yet. And that's your captain of the team, your leader of that offense. And now we know everything hinges on the quarterback for the most part. So if May fumbles, if they get behind, and he's flustered, who knows, man? So I feel like this weekend is one of the most unpredictable, hardest weekends to bet in playoff football that I can remember in a really long time. There's no clear favorites coming through here. There's no, the top seeds are all going to win, or most of them are going to win like they do every year. I don't have any of that love this year, man, for those top seeds. And every one of these games could go either way. So it's tough. Just trust your gut, right? And put your money where your heart is, and root for what you want to root for. That's what I'm doing this weekend.
I agree,
even the bye teams.
Yeah.
The teams of the byes, right? Like even the Broncos, who Bo Nix has been really erratic this year. And then I know Seahawks are probably the most complete team in the playoffs, but we have the Sam Darnold issue, which, he finished the year strong. Well, it wasn't even him. It was the run game finished the year strong, right? Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet, they actually decided to run the ball. But it's like, would it surprise you if they were one and done just based on Sam Darnold laying an all-time stinker again? And then the Broncos could easily be one and done. So, like, the only team that we did our playoff fantasy draft, and the one team I was very confident in because of the games played, not having the bye, getting the wild card game, is the Rams. Because essentially they get a bye. They were the best team in my mind all year, most complete team, because Matt Stafford, I don't have the questions I have with Darnold with Matt Stafford at this point. And I love Sean McVay personally. And I know Storey is rolling in his grave. He fucking hates Sean McVay for some reason. He hates all coaches, I guess. There's a reason.
Yeah, he hates all head coaches, so it doesn't matter.
Sean McVay's elite, bro.
Yeah, I don't want to admit it, being a Niner fan, and I don't like him as a Niner fan, but that's because he is good. And I think that Rams defensive line is going to be the difference in the playoffs. They're going to get pressure, and they're going to shut the run down, and they're going to be tough to beat. I'm scared of the Rams in the NFC as well. And you look at Chicago put 3 times as many points up on San Francisco than Seattle did. Seattle isn't exactly driving nails in coffins out there right now. So,
Hastings, you have a final thought?
Yeah, last thought on the Chargers. Harbaugh has completely changed Herbert and how the volume of passes. Before, he was used as just pure volume passer, 3 passes per series. It's toned down. Actually, Herbert has thrown less than 30 passes in 12 of his 17 games. Harbaugh's turning him into an extremely efficient assassin that needs to pass, that has been set up by 2 really good running backs on the Chargers. Like the Vidal and Hampton can run the ball. And again, they're not forcing Herbert to win the game, but I think now they're going to see that and put it to the test. But again, Patriots overrated big time.
And the last thing to add on to your point about the volume, the passing volume for Justin Herbert, is also with his legs. Like he has, this is actually the first year. It's funny we're saying this is the first year he's healthy. He's playing with a broken fucking hand, but his legs are healthy. He's always had ankle and knee issues the first multiple years of his career, right? And like Justin Herbert is, how many games is Justin Herbert where he goes 7 carries for 48 yards? Like we've seen it 8 times this year where he has just taken the team on their back. And we mentioned the Patriots not having like adversity this year. There's been a lot of adversity all year with the Chargers based on injuries and just the game flow that they've been in. And it's always been Justin Herbert just carrying that team. And the thing about Herbert is it's always, bad playoffs. He, 4 interceptions last year against the Texans in the playoff game. But I feel like he's a better quarterback than that. He's not Sam Darnold, if that makes sense. Not even close. We love him. We love him.
Yeah.
All right, last game. I can't wait to hear you taking this one because I want to bet this game so bad. Obviously, I have the Rodgers bet under 210, but I want to take the Texans. So I want you guys to talk me in or out of taking the Texans. I'm hoping it gets to -2.5, then I'm definitely betting the Texans. I don't want to buy it down to 2.5 and do -125. So Texans at Steelers -3. Houston's -3 on the road. Over under 38. So the implied total or the score of the game is like 21 to 17-ish. Hastings, what do you got?
All right, I'll start you off. I don't think you're going to like this. Mike Tomlin, 19-6-3 against the spread and home underdogs. Steelers, again, home underdog in the playoffs the last 4 years, 11-2. Guess the last 22 on Monday night football games for the Steelers.
19-3 or some shit, right?
22-0.
Come on. Okay.
This is a Monday night game. Dude, watch out. Like
he's due for an L.
I hear a lot of advanced stats, Hastings, but I want to hear actually X's and O's based on this matchup because that's what I'm looking at. Taking away all those things, this should be an easy 24-10. This should be 24-10, right? Ooh, Colby just said 24-10. Where our minds are linked.
The last thing. The reality, Stroud is a dome warm weather quarterback. His efficiency drops. And according to my research, Stroud has never won a game in freezing temperatures. It's around 28 degrees at kickoff scheduled right now. So again, the Texans love the dome, love the warm weather. It's not a long trip, just one time zone over, but again, the pressure rate at home, the Steelers have the highest, 41%. They are going to be running at Stroud, and he's shown a little susceptibility to getting and taking some hits when he really should get the ball out of his hand and live another down. So if you combine that with your love of TJ, Watt, and again, the pressure rate's going to be insane, cold weather. Tomlin is the home underdog champion if you like stats, but matchup X's and O's. This is either going to be Aaron Rodgers' last game or he somehow figures a way out to win and keep going. But yeah, I don't see the X's and O's being in favor of the Steelers. I'll say that. How about that, Simmons? That might help you.
Thank you, because you just gave me a bunch of fucking bullshit of this chick's got. I was like, is this girl hot? You're like, no, she got a great personality. She'll play golf with you on the weekends. I was like, is she hot? Well, she volunteers at a fucking dog shelter. I'm like, dude, you didn't give me any answers. So there you go. Finally gave me some answers. Nico, what do you got for this game? Tell me you're on my side.
Oh man, sorry Hastings, I don't see it that way. I get what you're saying, and those stats are fun, and there's obviously some truth to them, or they wouldn't be those stats, right? But for me, it's a defensive game. I like the under here. I also like that Texans defense. They're playing. That's the best defense in the NFL right now, in my opinion. They're playing lights out. Their edge rushers are phenomenal. They get home with 4 rushers more than anyone else. And they are just going to smash Pittsburgh. I don't see the Steelers being able to move the ball at all. Pittsburgh's in the same class as Carolina with me, where they limped into the playoffs and they got no business being there. The AFC North was a hot mess, and I think that Texans defense barely budges with old man Rodgers and DK lose my head at some blue hairs, whatever the fuck he's doing out there. Like, he's bullshit. Pittsburgh's going to get rolled if that Houston offense can show up. That's what scares me. Stroud and the rest of that offense is concerning. Pittsburgh D is not a joke. But Pittsburgh team as a whole, I get Tomlin's been there before, man. I get Rodgers has been there. It's playoff football. Those guys are going to show up and they're going to do their thing. But it's not going to be enough against DeMeco Ryans in that defense. It's the under, and it's Houston to cover. And for me, that's the second most confident bet that I'm placing besides the Rams over Carolina.
So I think about these two games similar, the Carolina and Rams game, and I agree the Rams are a better team than the Texans. But the Texans, let's not forget, were left for dead after week 6, and they were the best team. They finished the year slow. So I feel like Vegas and the public is kind of like writing off the Texans, where to me, I feel like they're one of the most dangerous teams in the AFC. And I put the Steelers in the same class as the Panthers, like Nico said. So why is this the 3-point line, Hastings? And why is it 10.5 for the Panthers? Because that's a big difference. They're both on the road. And you could say, you know, Stroud is not good in cold weather. You know what? CJ Stroud played his college ball in Ohio State. So it's not like he was a guy that went to UCLA and then went to a dome. Like, he has a lot of experience playing in cold weather. So I know that the numbers may say so, but it's a small sample, right? Because all of his division games are in domes or warm weather. So it's like, how many games has he actually played in cold weather?
I do not think that the Steelers are going to get the run going. I think the only script that works is if Rodgers unlocks prime time, last chance, one of his potentially his last game. But again, if the Steelers defense shows up and it becomes a slugfest, anybody can kind of win if it gets sloppy in the cold weather. But again, I don't doubt. I'm a big Texans fan. I am having a little doubts on Stroud, though. I'm having a little doubt on some of his decision making, and I mean, he's got the weapons. I mean, Woody Marks, kind of good. I would say he's not a game breaker, but I think the reason it's at that is, again, they're 22-0 on Monday night, man. And
hold that thought real quick. Hold that thought. Because when you were on the show last, it was either the last time or the time before, you were literally touting the Texans. And I feel like what's changed for you, or is this a bet on the Steelers? You're a closet Steelers fan? You're a closet Banya fan?
No, I love the Texans. I think they're good. I just know that, unfortunately, whatever Tomlin's doing at home at Steelers, it's tough to win. And again, CJ Stroud is relatively new to the, he's still got some learning to do. Again, I would say that this is closer than it appears. How about that? I do think that. Give
me your score. I want to hear your score prediction.
Man, I'm going to say this is going to be a slop fest, perhaps a boring game to watch, but for defensive fans, it might be a more fun to watch. I think we're going 2017 Steelers. And don't even ask me how they score. Don't even ask me how they score. DK Metcalf, is Aaron Rodgers going to run it 20 yards in? I don't even know how that works. I think we might see some slop fest here. Tomlin pulls it out here somehow.
Here's my worry you know what he didn't mention, Nico? He didn't mention the fact that CJ Stroud has won a wild card game the last 2 years in the playoffs, right? He's 1-0 and 1-0 in both these games, 2-0 total. And Mike Tomlin always is 1 and done in the playoffs. You didn't mention that in terms of your like historical data, right? Because it didn't fit your narrative. So keep it consistent, Hastings. Okay. Keep it consistent. What do you got?
I'm 17-10, and the one touchdown Pittsburgh gets is like a defender fell down against Austin or something goofy.
My worry is 19-17 Houston, and I make the bet -2.5, and I lose the fucking bet. That's my worry. That's why I don't bet lines, right? And like this, but this line might, if it goes to -2.5, I don't have to buy it down. I'll take my L if they lose, just because I don't think Pittsburgh deserves to be there. I guess the one worry I have, and you mentioned it, Hastings, is that Aaron Rodgers last game. I'm a big Aaron Rodgers guy. I think he's the second best quarterback of all time. Second best quarterback I've ever seen. Him and Manning are 2. So maybe number 3, whatever. If you want to say Peyton's ahead of him. But like, he is top 3 for me. And like that, the guy is the heart of a champion, heart of a lion. Like, this is it for him. But I don't think it matters with that pass rush. I think the pass rush is too good. I think the secondary is too good to overcome for Aaron Rodgers playing with these bums. Honestly, they're bums. Like Kenneth Gainwell. Yeah, Kenneth Gainwell is like looking really good this year, but is Kenneth Gainwell like a game-breaking player? He was like, anyone could have had him. I'm just saying, like, Kenneth Gainwell looks really good, but like, he's not Saquon Barkley. He's not Bijan Robinson. So yeah, it's an interesting Monday night game, to say the least. Now, like you said, defensive fans are going to like it. I think it's an interesting game no matter what, because I think Houston has Super Bowl potential. I really do. I think that they have the recipe, right? I do like C.J. Stroud. I've been harsh on C.J. Stroud historically, but I think he's good enough as a game manager. Nico Collins is a stud, and that defense is elite.
That's it, dude.
Elite defensive travel.
Nico Collins is legit, dude.
Let's get to some comments. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Jay Quellen. No Jay Quellen here?
Do you mean Jacqueline?
Okay, so that's how it's gonna be. Balake. Where is Balake at? Yes, sir.
My name's Blake.
Are you out of your goddamn mind? Do you want to go to war, Balake?
No.
D Nice. Is there a D Nice?
Do you mean Denise?
Son of a bitch! Ron. Where are you? Where is Ron right now?
Here.
You know, I said it like 4 times, so why didn't you say it the first time I said Ron?
Because it's pronounced Aaron?
Son of a bitch!
Jaquelin.
Jay Quellen. I think Balake is my favorite, just the way he says Balake.
It's Ron for me.
I make fun of the counselor, the fantasy football counselor, because he calls Bijan Bijan. He calls all these guys, like, even though their names are documented, it's their names. It's not really an opinion. And he just, like, refuses to admit that the names are what they are because the way they're spelled. And it's just like something he would do. And
we were wrong, right? He had a post.
But he didn't say it was Bijan. He didn't say it was Bijan.
What did he say? I don't remember, man. But Bijan did tell us we were all wrong, and we still refused to fix it.
Bijan. I don't know. It wasn't Bijan though. I tell you that much. It was. It didn't work for his mustard. His mustard
Bijan
company he has. Yeah. Jason says, someone asked what we were drinking, and that's why I showed I was drinking PBR. Jason predicted it for us because Jason's a shit. Colby Hastings is sipping on $1,000 bottle of wine because, you know, he's got the painting in the background. Nico has a Coors Banquet, and Rob is drinking a local IPA with them chops. Thank you. I did do the chops. I'm drinking PBR. Nick, you're drinking bourbon, right?
I am. I do not drink beer, man. I'm drinking a green...
Tell them why you can't.
I had a crazy stomach surgery years ago. Can't drink anything bubbly. Super weird, man. If it builds up, it tears some things apart, and I have to go to the hospital. It's a whole big to-do. So no carbonation for me. But the Owensboro, Kentucky brought back one of their distilleries, Green River, and I got their cask strength to try it, and I am not telling anybody you'll get it, man. It is a terrible $50 bottle of bourbon. But at 117 proof, it is keeping me warm out here.
Ooh.
Can you handle semen? Is that capable in your stomach? Have you tested that out yet?
It's not carbonated. It's fine.
Love it. All right, Hastings, what'd you show us? What do you got there?
Just a local Kolsch German beer from down here.
You are German, right? You definitely seem like a Nazi.
I don't want to get you penalized on YouTube. We'll keep my political beliefs quiet for now.
Yeah. What was that ship bringing to America?
Hitler didn't die. He made it to Argentina. Here, I've got some deep rabbit holes on that one.
What do you got? Give us 2 minutes before you get off. Give me some rabbit holes on that.
So
it's actually fact. There's like what, 20 communities down there?
Yeah, well, they set up communities, but this is a deeper one. Adolf Hitler is actually Walt Disney. Yeah, okay. You're going to be like, whoa, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? But little known fact, well, first off, look at the people. Go just do Adolf Hitler and Walt Disney. They look exactly the same. For some reason, Disney became extremely involved in space and rockets, and they brought over Adolf Hitler's #1 rocket scientist, Werner von Braun, and Walt Disney and him did a bunch of shows together, yeah, all the world's a stage. Wow, yeah, that one, that's a showstopper on that one.
No. I mean, I can see the picture. I was looking at the picture. I can kind of see it, but I think that's maybe a little bit of a stretch. But Walt Disney was also a notorious awful person. Awful person. So it makes sense there, right?
Anti-Semitic, right?
All right, Hastings got to go. Me and Nico will take her home. Appreciate you coming on, man. Thanks
Always
for the
a
insights.
pleasure. Good luck, everybody. Seriously, it's going to be a wild weekend. I can't even wait for Monday to see the Steelers squeak one out there.
Don't even you leave the show with that. I will kill you. I'm gonna ban you. All right, you're the man. You're the man.
Texans
We'll talk to you soon.
See you guys. Bye.
Good night.
All right. Real quick, shout out to the Patreon subscribers. Appreciate everyone in here. Help me keep the lights on here. Almost 7. We're 7 days a week during the season. We're still 5 days a week, 4 days a week, all the way through till next season. So don't worry. No lack of content here. A lot of perks besides just supporting your boys, which is the number one perk, by the way. Access to the Discord community fantasy leagues. We're doing a dynasty startup here in May. That's going to be awesome. We have 4 spots open for that. Guest appearances on the pod. You'll be sitting where Nick O or Hastings is sitting. You're welcome to, man. Free merchandise giveaways. This hat. We're going to get some shirts coming soon. Giving away. I'm sending away the hat once a month. I'm sending them away in the middle of this month, January 15th. So the drawing is in 4 days. If you're interested, get your name on the drawing board there. I do it live and send you this hat for free. It's pretty awesome. And we do also to access to my bets too, gentlemen. We're 86-51 this year. 4 years.
Beating yards.
You're gonna make. You're going to make the money. I do give away the bets here for free, but also the odds will change if you don't get in the Discord, because that's where I give it away all the time right away. And we call the Discord. What is the Discord? We call it it's the place to be.
What do you call it, Kramer? It was. Come on, Rudy. Come on. We call it the place to be. The place to be. Yes.
All right, UNC. I made it. First question. Sorry, we're really delayed in these comments, but keep pumping them in here. Need something answered right away. Just hit me with a super, and I'll get to you right away. Harbaugh to the Falcons could be really dangerous. You like that, Nico?
Could be dangerous. I don't like it, man. I think he's pigeonholed to the Giants. I think they're going to try and bring back the storied franchise, the McLaughlin era, right, where it's. You got a lot of history with that team, and I think that's the type of team that suits him, where he can go and be a head coach for 10 plus years, and Atlanta's not that place.
Yeah, Giants seem perfect. Jackson Dart seems like that dude. Free throw says he needs a hat, and Colby, that hat is sick. Free throw, you're in the. I'm gonna stream the drawing. There's only 9 people that are eligible, I believe, for this month's drawing. So you're one of those 9. So you have a 1 in 9 chance. Colby, if you want to get in, make it a 1 in 10 chance for yourself. There you go. Also, if anyone wants to guarantee themselves a hat, sign up to be a professional fanatic on the Patreon. You get a free hat no matter what, just by signing up. $21 a month, but also you get, access to being a guest in the show. You get personal draft advice. You get all the perks from every tier. I give back to the people that give back to me. So that's what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to do. I think this is back to the Michael Jackson conversation. That was pretty awesome.
I don't have a lot to put in on that one, man. That I don't have a lot of information in that category.
It wasn't as wild as Hastings saying that Hitler is Walt Disney. I mean, that was a send-off of send-offs. Jason says the hat is the most comfortable thing in the world. I wear it golfing all the time. Didn't go cheap, that's for sure. Yeah, they're $25 a pop. I'm not going to go cheap because I wear it all the time, and I also want to give you guys quality. So, and that's with buying 25 of them. It's like $500 for 25. So, hats aren't cheap. They're not the best hats in the world. And I go, you have one. It's nice. You're not wearing it because it's cold outside. You're not repping. What an asshole.
If I was inside, I'd have it on. Hopefully next year you come out with some stocking caps, man.
Yeah, once I can afford to actually pay my rent with the show, I'll get a lot of more stuff. You know what I mean? But thank you, Jason, by the way. But as of this point, it's hard.
Man, it is a quality hat.
Yeah. Colby says Rodgers is my favorite quarterback of all time, but he doesn't stand a chance against Texans defense. That's where we were standing, Nico. But Hastings, he just gave us all this historical data. It just didn't really go into the X's and O's. I know he loves the Texans, but obviously he's not alone because the line is -3. We both feel like this line should be +4.5, right? -4.5.
Yeah, and how many of those Monday night wins were with Aaron Rodgers being coached by Tomlin? That takes the rest of those out for me and makes them irrelevant. I don't care what Tomlin did with Roethlisberger.
Let's see what do we got here. If Harbaugh went to the Falcons, he can turn them into a playoff team in 2 years. What's a better situation, though? The Falcons or the Giants? So I think the Falcons are better management, obviously, because New York teams are just historically mismanaged. But the quarterback question that the Falcons have, not to mention trading their first-round pick this year, not having a first-round pick is an issue. And, you have you're going to have to bring in Malik Willis, or you're going to have to, keep Kirk Cousins, and Michael Penix seems to be done.
Yeah.
Just based on not looking great.
Your Cousins believer, your Cousins truther is the only way that Atlanta is successful. And I don't want to just get to the playoffs and lose every once in 10 years, dude, with Cousins. I'm good.
And let's not fool ourselves. Kirk Cousins is a fine bridge guy, but you're not winning a Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins at this stage of his career. With that roster, is there a roster that Kirk Cousins next year starting would win a Super Bowl with? Let's put him on the Seahawks instead of Sam Darnold this year. They're worse. And they're not even a favorite to win the Super Bowl. So Kirk Cousins, that's not appealing. Where the Giants have draft capital. They have Malik Neighbors coming back. They have Jackson Dart, who seems to be that guy who is a great pick. And I didn't like it when they made it, but they have their defensive line is all time talented. So they have the talent already. It's just, can you get a coach in there? And Harbaugh seems to be that guy that could bring in, a culture. That's what they need, is a culture, right?
In the Giants ownership, they don't have a problem staying loyal to a coach. You're not going to start flipping coaches like Vegas does in New York, man. They almost have stayed too loyal to some guys that weren't doing it. Kept them a year too long at times. So I think the Maras up there, man. I think that's a good fit with Harbaugh. And Dart could be anything, man. Dart could even be a boat. He's a mystery box.
Yeah, he could be anything. Shout out Mark, number one super fan. What's up, Rob? Been away from the stream since I started a new job. I got to be up at 6 a.m. during the week. Gross. That's Nick O's style right here. Glad to see you still dropping bangers. Love you, dude. I'm still dropping bangers, man. And Mark, you're still the number one super fan. You saw every stream for you've still watched 90% of every stream. And just because you've missed the last 2 weeks. That's why he's the number one super fan. He's feels bad about not being able to watch every stream. We do miss you though, Mark, and we'll be seeing you soon, man. Next year we're gonna have a little earlier schedule. I think it's gonna be more like a 9 p.m. start. That will work for Nick O too, because I want Nick O's ass on here once a week because
it will work a little better, man. My alarm goes off at 4:30 a.m., brother.
Yeah. I can't wait, man. I'm already looking forward to next year. Let's see where we're at. Texans 24-20. We like that one a lot. Texans have never won an away playoff game. They've also not been in many playoffs. I know both the last two games we referenced were home playoff victories, but I don't know. I think we both agree. We just think the Steelers are much closer to the Panthers in terms of talent than they are any other playoff team, right? Is that the gap?
Hastings didn't log in as a different. Hastings didn't log in as a different user and post that while he was on with us.
No, that's Jay. But we have it as Panthers are the worst team, and the Steelers are a little above them. And then the other worst team would be, who would we have as the third worst team? We could have Packers, Chargers, Niners, Bills are the options, or Bears. I feel like the Steelers are closer to the Panthers than any of the teams I just mentioned.
They are, man. They are, and the third worst team is tough. I might lean Chargers, but it'd be them or Packers for me. But I think they're different. Steelers and Panthers are in a league of their own, man. The limp league, limp into the playoffs, man. Swinging their limp, you know what?
Otto, do you think Sam Darnold could get it done this year? Seahawks have the best home crowd in the NFL combined with the top 3 defense. So they're absolutely Super Bowl favorites. But is that enough? Is there enough faith in the 14? The nice thing is, you mentioned they have home field. They don't have what the Niners would have had if they had gotten the number 1 seed, which was home field throughout the playoffs and the Super Bowl. But in terms of the playoffs, they do have home field. I love that. It's top 2 defense in my mind. I guess it's Eagles, Houston, and I'd say Eagles, Houston, and Seahawks in no order for top 3 defenses. And those 3 stand alone in my mind. And then it's the Sam Darnold thing. So what do you think? You think Sam Darnold is Is he a net negative? Is he a net neutral? Or is he a net positive? Will he be?
Man, I think he's neutral. I think he doesn't cost them, but I don't think he goes out and wins those games. And McDonald's actually got a much better record on the road than he does at home since being head coach. As crazy as that sounds, I know historically we think of Seattle as this monster home team and this monster home crowd, but that's not what they've been the last couple of years. And Darnold is dude, just a guy. I think he's fine. I think when he's got the weapons and you've established a run game and that good defense, he's not going to cost you the game. But he's not gonna go light the world on fire, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's a weird guy because he's, for a game manager, he's prone to turnovers, but he's also much more than a game manager in terms of like his passing efficiency down the field. Like he's got some upside to him, and he's a little bit mobile. Like he has upside more than like a Trent Dilfer type, right? Like he can make the big play. He can also make the bad play, and that's the worry.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that because they need that.
With anybody in that Shanahan tree, man, all you need is somebody to process quickly and get the ball out. And you saw Darnold, in a couple games with the Niners. He kind of got rejuvenated by Shanahan, and now he's up there with Kubiak, who is a Shanahan disciple running a similar offense where you process quickly, you get the ball out quickly, and you'll be successful in that offense. So that's all he needs to be, man.
JD likes Stroud, but I guess kind of consider him a higher level game manager. That's exactly what he is, and that's fine because with the team they have constructed, and you have a nice, big-bodied, elite receiver in my mind, Nico Collins. My worry is the run game, and it's the offensive line is an issue, and the talent there in the backfield. With phasing Nick Chubb out, he's done anyway, and Woody Marks is not the dude. And Jawar Jordan's hurt, so it's like they do ask Stroud to do more than he should because they don't have a real running back, Nico.
They do. Schultz, don't forget about him at tight end. He's a good, reliable pass catcher to move chains. And Nico is a phenomenal receiver, man. He's one of the better ones in the league right now. And just put it up and let him do his thing is Stroud's best bet.
I agree. I'm not a Stroud guy. I was, remember that was me and you were on the show exclusively, Nico, and we were not. I know I was not a Stroud guy coming out, and it's been it's because it was, rookie of the year, awesome rookie year, and then bad second year. I've always been kind of pretty even on my opinion on Stroud. He was fine. He's fine is what he is. He's fine. He's not Simple Jack.
Simple Jack, the story of a mentally impaired farmhand who can talk to animals, was a box office disaster that many critics called one of the worst movies of all time.
Got a good brain.
I think you've got a fine brain, Jack.
You make me happy.
But now the question is, can speed...
What are your thoughts on Ohio? What are your thoughts on Ohio? Ohio's similar to Illinois. I think it's just a Midwest town, Midwest state. Nothing crazy.
Nah, man. Ohio is the armpit of the Great Lakes, dude. They're the worst Midwest state there is.
Jay's getting shit because Colby was talking shit about Ohio. Now you're talking shit about Ohio. I've only driven through multiple times. I've never actually stayed, so I can't really.
I've done Cincinnati. I've done a few other big cities there, traveling for work and whatnot. It's fine, man. I don't understand the putting chili on spaghetti bullshit, but I got no hate, man, but I ain't got no love.
All right. You don't hate a lot of things. Nico's a very, very positive, upbeat person. We love Nico around here. So Jag's going to give the Bills BDSM. So they're going to essentially just give him some hardcore rough sex is what I'm hearing from Jason. What did you say? You said you like the Jags in this game, if I remember?
Dude, it's a tough. This is a really tough one for me because the Jags are playing really well-rounded football right now. In every aspect of the game, but I don't feel like they have the experience from the coaching staff down to the quarterback to step up in the playoffs. The pressure might get to them. I want the Bills to win, but I think the smart money is on the Jags, dude.
Yeah, because I think that a lot of I expected this line to be Jags -2, honestly. Colby, I think we're the same age. I am 37, going to be 38. How old are you, sir? Nick O is 41. Can be 42 or 42 already. Whoa, you old fucking fart. He looks great though. I mean, look at this guy.
The gray is hidden out here in the bonfire, man. You can't see it as much.
Bro, my hair. So my hair is it's a weird color, but you can't really see. I don't know if I have gray in it in case you can't see it, but my beard's darker, and I have so many white gray hairs, and I embrace it, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I partied pretty hard in my day. So I feel like I don't think I look good for my age. I don't think I look bad for my age. I think I look my age. You know, I'm not going to pull a Bradley Cooper and get fucking plastic surgery.
If you grew your hair out longer, when you took your hat off, you'd almost look like that. What was it? The Ole Miss tight end, man. That like nobody saw that hairline coming when he took his helmet off.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah, dude, they were making jokes about it. I forgot. I think it was Ole Miss, man. I'm not positive, but like he took his helmet off, and it was like receded and like long and like sticking up, and everyone was like, "Dude, we did not see that hairline coming." Like from a college player, you know. It was pretty funny. But as you get older, man, that shit happens.
Yeah, my hair is not great, and Colby says I still have a good hairline though. I'm assuming he's directly saying that about me because I don't have a good hairline. It's not terrible. It could be worse, right? Like it's not good, but it could be. It's thin. I know it's thin. I understand. Like my future with the hairline is not ideal. I'm married. Okay, I have a very lovely wife, so that's one thing I have going for me. You know how people let themselves go. I just, I still shampoo it every day, and you're not supposed to do that. I don't care. I'm going to treat it great for the next 3 years I have it, right? And I'm going to shave it. I'll fucking bick that shit. I like this hat too, so I'm good. It's all good.
I'm convincing I am in touch with my Neanderthal roots, dude. I got way more hair than the average man, so that's one area.
You are a Neanderthal. Colby, where are you from, by the way? I like to know my listeners where they're from. Age, sex, location is what I asked. That's the old school AOL thing. ASL.
Hopefully not Ohio.
Yeah, no, I don't think he was one ripping on Ohio. Harbaugh is destined to be the Giants head coach. I don't hate that spot for him. Colby says young people need to watch 2014 Aaron Rodgers. Unreal. Just any Aaron Rodgers, honestly, outside of the Jets. Don't watch Jets Aaron Rodgers. Just don't watch that. It's always good, though. Aaron Rodgers is the stats, the eye test, the intelligence, and also I personally love Aaron Rodgers as the guy. I think I want him on this show. I was trying to think, like, if I could have Aaron Rodgers in the show, like we could talk for 5 hours about just whatever, because Aaron Rodgers is that kind of dude. If I had Patrick Mahomes in the show, how long would the show be? 20 minutes?
You wanna know my take, man, that you're not gonna love? You're not gonna like this at all. I like Brett Favre better as a Packer quarterback than I like Aaron Rodgers.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
I know.
I agree. Brett Favre's awful. Brett Favre's awful. Most pick sixes ever.
He was entertaining.
Cool.
I liked it. Okay. I liked watching it, and I'm not a Packer fan, so maybe I like the worst quarterback.
Well, no, he is most definitely a worse quarterback. That's not even like up for debate, right?
No, it's not, dude. Rodgers was much better than Favre. I'm just saying, I liked him better when I was watching Packer games. I'd rather watch games with Favre than I would with Rodgers. Go throw on some old Favre highlights, man.
No, it was can't miss TV because it was a lot of long touchdown passes. It was a lot of pick sixes. It was a lot of boneheaded plays. There was always big plays, whether it be for him or against him. But that's not like Aaron Rodgers does not turn the ball over. Never has, never will. That's
no, man.
Right?
Aaron Rodgers is the king of the free play too. He's so good at that.
And by far, that's a weird kind of thing to say, but he's by far the best at the Hail Mary. Like he's mastered that art. And I'm not just saying it because of the results. He's had four or five or whatever through his career. But it's if you actually just like sports science it and the way he extends the play and the trajectory of the ball coming down to his receiver's hands, like he understands that it's not just about getting the ball to the end zone. It's about how the ball reaches the end zone and having it come down at the angle he's having it come down almost straight down gives his receivers the best chance to catch the ball or get a deflection that's not straight down on the ground. So like that's where Aaron Rodgers, I know it's like a weird thing to say you're the best at, but he is the best at that. So
Jason, go ahead. Do you think that he'd have been as good if the Niners took him instead of Alex Smith?
He'd probably be more successful in terms of Super Bowls because he has one. Yeah. Yes. Way better. Alex Smith was fine, right?
Alex
What a
Smith
crazy
all the different coordinators and Rodgers had the chance to sit behind Favre and learn in the same system that whole time. I don't know, man. That's what I'm asking.
What a crazy situation with that draft. How I feel like they were 1A, 1B in that draft. It was like those two guys. It was like somewhere. Remember how Mariota and Winston were like both the same, and it was just a toss up who to take. And the fact that Alex Smith went 1 and Aaron Rodgers went like 18th or 20th, like he fell that far.
Maybe.
Yeah, how did that happen? And like clearly, I know hindsight is Aaron Rodgers, and of course it's Aaron Rodgers. He's an all-timer, and Alex Smith is in the Hall of very good quarterback. Obviously, some injuries that derailed him, but he did lose his job to Colin Kaepernick. Let's not forget that. Hey, Kaepernick should have won a Super Bowl. All right, fucking bottom line, 100%.
Yeah,
I can't believe the Ravens won that Super Bowl, man.
Don't throw to Crabtree 3 times when you got Frank Gore and the best O-line in the league, man.
Or Vernon Davis. Good option. Jay says Lions reached out to McDaniel. He is a good fit. McDaniel's a good fit anywhere as offensive coordinator. Do you agree with that? Anywhere? That's a great fit, though.
But he turns that team around instantly, man. And I think they're chasing McDaniel before Philadelphia has an opening. I think Detroit's hitting while the iron's hot, man.
Yeah, Jason says Darnold choked in the playoffs last year. It'd be interesting to see if he can overcome that. Well, not only did he choke in the playoffs, he had a pretty bad game against the Lions in that essentially a playoff game. That was the 14-2 bowl. They were both 14-2 and against the Lions, and the winner, it was similar to what happened this year, right? The winner got the 1 seed, and the loser got the 6 seed, 5 seed. And Darnold played bad in that game and played even worse in the playoff game, which is a bad situation. That was also only what that was a Monday night game, right? The Lions Vikings game was Monday night game. They had to turn around and come and play on Saturday. That was really bad. Or it was Sunday night. So say it was Sunday Night Football. They had to play Saturday. So it was a really short, it was just a bad situation for the Vikings last year. And you know what? Vikings made a big mistake. Let's just say that. Big mistake. Let's not forget Daniel Jones, too. Or they could have just kept Daniel Jones as well. Let's see. Sam Darnold can either be best quarterback you've ever seen or a Giants Daniel Jones. That is very true. They can still win with him being Daniel Jones, though, right?
This year, Daniel Jones, sure. The Daniel Jones that turns the ball over nonstop, man. No.
Yeah, Daniel Jones. God damn it. I'm curious to see where he's going to go because I don't think that the Colts are going to re-sign him. There's a lot of B quarterbacks.
I think they do, man. I think you saw enough out of Riley Leonard at the end of the season that he can play while Jones gets healthy. And if Riley Leonard's winning, you just keep Jones as a bench player. And if Leonard's struggling, you put Jones in when he's healthy.
I like Riley Leonard, man. I like him a lot. I still don't know why they brought in Phillip Rivers. Like, I understand he knew the offense. Like, just fucking play Riley Leonard after the injury. Like, he was fine. He's mobile, too. Just weird. Colby's pissed at you. You said Rodgers is way better than Favre. And you acknowledged that, right? You just liked watching.
Yeah, Rodgers is way better. I just said I liked watching Favre better. It was more exciting.
Fair. Who's going to win the Super Bowl, Nico? Give me your Super Bowl matchup right now.
Ooh, Super Bowl. All right, man. This is tough. I'm picking the Super Bowl with my heart here, man. And I'm picking two teams that probably shouldn't be there that you don't expect. And we're going to do a 1985 rematch, and the Bears beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Whoa. I'm going to go Rams, and I'm going to go... Dude, I have no idea who to pick in the AFC. I want to pick the fucking Texans. Because I don't know. I'm just saying I can't pick the Broncos. I don't want to pick the Patriots. They could lose this weekend. I can't pick the Bills because they're barely favorites in the first round matchup. Like, AFC is so wide open that I'm very confident in the Rams. It's going to be Rams or Seahawks for me. And then, I'm going to say fucking Texans. I'm going to say Texans. Fuck it.
Yeah, everybody's got Rams or Seahawks, and I get it. And that's what makes the most sense, man. But it's who's playing hot and who just shows up in these games. And this is the year of anything can happen. I'd like San Francisco and Buffalo. That's what I'd like. But I also think the 85 rematch will be fun. But if I'm actually betting this, I think it's I think it's the Rams and the Jags, man. They're just playing good all around ball. Like if they could get past Buffalo, I don't see anyone else that's going to slow them down enough, or outshoot them, I should say, not slow them down, because it's just a matter of if Josh Allen can outscore them.
Some guy, what's going on? Some guy, Raiders going to hire John Harbaugh. Yeah, cream of some young guy. The Raiders would love to hire John Harbaugh, but he won't go to the Raiders because he has his pick of the litter. And why the fuck would you go to the Raiders? With Tom Brady telling you, like,
you have a great young core. You have Genty and Bowers on rookie contract. You have the number one pick. You can get any quarterback you want. It is a great young core, dude. It is a fun start, but the Raiders are not a place you go to coach for 10 years and be successful, dude. I just don't see it. I think Harbaugh's looking for more security than that.
Well, it's not just that. It's they're currently paying 5 coaches right now. Like, that alone tells you, like, stay away. It's like the girl that's been divorced 4 times. Like, you want to marry her? Like, what's gonna be different about your relationship? And it's not about you as the person, Nico. It's about her, right? It's not about you as the person, John Harbaugh. It's about them. And obviously, what's going on in Oakland, LA, wherever the hell they're playing, the Raiders is not good. It's not been good. I like the core. The core's fine, but so is the Giants core. The Giants core is awesome. The Jets, for instance, have all that draft capital, right? All that. They have 2 first-round picks. They have 2 second-round picks. They have a lot of good stuff, right? Well, yeah, but there'll be an opening for the Jets in about a year if you want to wait.
Yeah, right. The other one I saw too, people linking Harbaugh to the Dolphins because his daughter goes to school in South Florida, and I was like, I don't think that's enough to sway him, man.
I would not want to go to Miami. That's just they have no talent. Like, they have no talent. That's why, again, I'm a Mike McDaniel guy. Like, not so much as a head coach, but I always bring up the fact that Tua. We all agree, and we've all seen. I've been saying this for 3 years. Tua's awful. Awful, like most limited quarterback. He is essentially like Kirk Cousins after the Achilles in terms of mobility. His arm strength is not far better than Cousins after the Achilles, and he led that offense. Now I know it was Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, but with Tua leading the team, which is the most important position on the field, they were the first ranked offense and the 3rd ranked offense in back-to-back years with Tua. Now that's a Mike McDaniel stat, right?
Yeah, it absolutely is, dude. And I'd be surprised to even see Tua starting in the NFL next year.
He just needs to retire also just because he's trash and all the head wounds and head injuries, dude. Like, you made your money, bro. Like, if you get 1 or 2 more, like, you're going to be literally like drinking your food out of a straw. And like, that might happen anyway with what we know about concussions.
It's going to be Simple Jack.
He's going to be Simple Jack. Damn straight. Like, he might already be Simple Jack. And maybe, just maybe, that was part of the Tua downfall, was his processing and his mind is just mush. I'm not trying to make light of this, even though I kind of am, because it's funny. It's sad, but you know what? You're also signing up to play in the NFL, and that's like, you know, an issue with the work. That just comes in line with playing in the NFL, is that the risk is you play in the NFL, you might end up being Aaron Hernandez. Right, and hopefully you do Aaron Hernandez without the murders. Can we just have Aaron Hernandez without the murders? And then you essentially, what are you, Antonio Brown? That's what you are, which is fine.
Yeah, I could see that one.
I watched Antonio Brown's Joe Rogan. He actually, I don't know why Joe Rogan had him on there, but it was hilarious. And he came in with like a fucking like a hard, like it was like a military hat on, like a hard hat, like something he'd wear in like World War I. And dude, he just is whacked out of his mind. Like, he's just not very articulate, and just dude. And the fucking crazy thing is, Antonio Brown was like a very humble. He went to Western Michigan. Like, he was a fucking 5th round pick. Like, he was not that dude when he came in the league. He's a special teams player, and then he just became Terrell Owens on like meth. You know, I guess that's the way I would describe it.
You're not wrong, man. Let's knock out a few more of these comments here, and then I got to jump off, brother.
Yeah, here, just hop off. I'll finish them off. I know you're fired.
I can do a few more.
Okay, Robert Downey Jr. blackface. Jalen Hurts is a Simple Jack whiteface. Mind blown. Mark, can't believe I didn't put 2 and 2 together. Darnold has some Favre tendencies. That is for sure. without the upside, but I feel like he's not quite as aggressive. Although, what did he have? 20 turnovers this year? It was mostly fumbles, right? Like 7 fumbles and 13 picks. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of fumbles, man. Daniel Jones territory.
I don't like that. Nick says I wouldn't be surprised if the Bills lose round 1. That's the weird thing about the Bills. I could see them losing round 1, or I could see them winning the Super Bowl. Like it's really crazy to have that that's why I like the Rams as a safe pick. That's why I stack my team with Rams in the playoff fantasy team league, because I have no concern about them losing round 1. And I
think
do
that's the
with the Bills.
recipe for success in a fantasy playoff league too. I think you absolutely hit that nail on the head, man. Get all the Rams players you can.
See more. Jalen Hurts, a simple jack from now on, Mark, brother. We made my week. Yeah, I love that. Why are you doing Hurts like that? This is not a pro Hurts channel for many reasons. I love the guy. I think he's an awesome teammate. I think he's a good kid. I can call him a kid because I'm way older than him. I just don't think he's a very good quarterback. And I feel like if he went to a team like the Raiders, he would be exposed for we saw Justin Fields be awful with the Jets and the Bears and the Steelers. I don't think it would be that much better with Jalen Hurts if he was in those situations that Justin Fields was in. Do you agree?
I think he was exposed without an offensive coordinator that could hide his faults, man. And Kellen Moore did a really good job of that last year.
I'm not saying Justin Fields is a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. That's blasphemy. I think that if you put him in a situation where it wasn't ideal with the playmakers, with the offensive line, with the play calling, with the running game, that's and a good defense, name it. That's the best situation ever, ever. And we've seen this for years with the Eagles. Dude, Nick Foles has a Super Bowl, Nico.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened with Nick Foles when he left the Eagles? I remember specifically because the Bears traded for him. The Jaguars gave him a bag of money. How did Nick Foles do outside the Eagles? Did he all of a sudden forget how to play quarterback, or was it an Eagles situation?
It was an Eagles situation, and they had better coordinators than they do right now, and that's when you see Hurts get exposed. Their inconsistent play. Like you said, dude, if you put him on the Jets this year, you're not going to get much better numbers in the field if he were to start the whole year.
Yeah, and there's so many layers to it. And I love Jalen Hurts. He's a warrior. He's a badass. He puts his body on the line. He's a leader. Everyone loves him. He does what is asked for him, right? He doesn't bitch about, when they weren't throwing the ball last year with Saquon running all the time, he didn't bitch. I love Jalen Hurts. I just don't think he's very good. I think he is an average quarterback. I don't think he's bad. I think he's just an average quarterback. And we've seen a lot of average quarterbacks fail. And it just so happens that this is an average quarterback that's been successful, but who wouldn't be successful there, right? Carson Wentz also, I know the injuries took a toll, but what has Carson Wentz done in his post-Philly career? Put
Lamar on Philly even, man. If you want to put another rushing quarterback on Philly and see what he can do, I guarantee they're going to have a better pass game than they would with Hurts.
God, Lamar with Philly. Raiders, please don't set up Mendoza for failure by taking him first overall. Though they're going to take him first overall. That's going to happen. So he's going to be a Raider.
Did you see some ex-Jets scout, I want to say it was, has a 4th round grade on Mendoza?
Why?
I didn't read anything. I just saw the headline, man, where they talked to some ex-scout, and I want to say he was with the Jets, and he's got a 4th round grade. He doesn't think he's any good.
You know what that is? That's an ex-scout trying to throw his name in the mix. And I made this comment in the Discord to some people about how Mel Kiper has the Oregon quarterback ahead of Mendoza, and it's Mel Kiper's to a point where it doesn't matter what he says, right or wrong, and he wants to have a bigger splash right than the consensus right. You know what I mean? It's more valuable to his career. He's not losing any money. Where that's why I don't like a lot of fancy channels, because they want to tell you a bunch of crazy shit, and when 3 of the 20 pan out, they brag about them, which is fine. That's hot take day on this show. We do that one show. I want to give you actually what I'm doing with my draft picks, what I'm doing with my bets. That's why it's not hot takey, because now the Hitler being Walt Disney was hot takey by Hastings earlier. That was hot takey.
I don't want the "I told you so" take, right? Like, I don't need that, man.
Because I also admit and acknowledge when I'm wrong. Like my Colson Loveland take was dead wrong this year, and I'm going to own that one because I was pretty much on board saying Colson Loveland was a bad pick. He was a bust. He was not a good player. And I can change my opinion when I actually see new evidence and new stats, and new facts brought towards me. And that's the difference. That's why this channel is taking so long to take off, because I'm not just going to fucking say bullshit to say bullshit to spark conversation. And the Jalen Hurts thing, people might think it's what it is, but I think anyone that knows and watches football understands that Jalen Hurts is an average quarterback. I will say that. Rams Super Bowl,
and you definitely are not too proud to admit when you've been wrong, man. I respect that.
No, but I also shove my dick in your face when I'm right. Like, George Pickens and Chris Olave this year, Javonte Williams, and then midseason Michael Wilson, who won me about $7,000 this year. Thank you, Michael Wilson, because that dude. I promise you, I was on Michael Wilson because you remember Michael Wilson was a PP of mine the year before. Yep. I've been on Michael Wilson since he was drafted at Stanford, and like regardless of that, like this year I had Michael Wilson in 27% of my best ball league, so I liked him in general. And then once the injury happened to Harrison, it was more of just a 1 or 2 week thing, we thought. But it was like, I know Michael Wilson can play ball. And the crazy thing is, Nico, is he exceeded my expectations by a mile, because take the stats out, the eye test. You watched Michael Wilson play football, the catches he was making. And he had a catch. He had the offensive pass interference they called week 18. I don't know if you saw that game. Dude, He is just mossing guys. And the way he runs routes, he's such the opposite of Marvin Harrison. Like, Marvin Harrison looks like he's so disinterested in playing football. Michael Wilson, every play is like, game 7 of the World Series, 3-2 counts, right? Like everything is like the last play of his career, which I know you love guys like that, right? You want Michael Wilson on your team in fantasy and real life. Like I can't wait to see what happens next year if they keep Michael Wilson, because like, let me ask you this. Would you take, if they keep Michael Wilson, they keep Brissett, and it's the same cast of characters, right? Would you take Michael Wilson or Marvin Harrison first in fantasy drafts? Who would you take for earlier? Say 5th round.
Dude, if they're going in the same round, I mean, I almost think you got to take Wilson, but the fantasy community is going to take Harrison ahead of Wilson, and you're going to get the value. He's going to be what DJ Moore was for years, man, was a value every year. What Keenan Allen was for years, right? Like a value every year. Like that's what Wilson's going to continue to be. People are going to sleep on him every year, and guys like me and you are going to take him in the mid rounds and crush.
Yeah, I just hope he goes somewhere else, because I still have, again, I don't know if I want to take Marvin Harrison ever again, just because the lack of interest he shows, the fact he refuses to high point footballs, some of the personal.
I'm willing to miss a year.
Right, yeah. Right. But the problem is if he falls to the 5th or 6th round next, obviously if Michael Wilson goes somewhere else, he's not going to fall to the 5th or 6th round. He's going to still go in the late 4th. And that point, I'm not taking him. But it's like there is some upside, because the prospect that we were sold, the size, his touchdown numbers are still pretty elite. He has, 18 touchdowns and 40 career games is pretty goddamn good. Or no, yeah. 30. Was it 30? He's played 2 seasons, so it's 32 games. He has, I think it's like 8, and so he has like a touchdown every other game. It's like 15 touchdowns in 30 games. That's pretty elite stuff. But the eye test tells me that Marvin Harrison is not good at football, and he's just a guy that's been peppered with targets in the red zone, which is, that eventually goes away, right? When you're not producing, goes away.
Yeah, or maybe he wakes up, man, but who knows?
I do think a big part of it was Kyler Murray, and this is the big thing with the entire team in the passing game, was that like I could see Marvin Harrison with the silver spoon situation being like, I got to play with this bum who doesn't fucking watch film, who doesn't work. Kyler Murray is just like the worst kind of dude, because he's just he got the contract. He was the #1 pick. He was drafted in baseball. Like Kyler Murray was the thing. And why would Kyler Murray work hard? Well, except for, I don't know, all the other all-time greats like Tom Brady, who worked hard after he won 4 Super Bowls. He was working harder than everyone else. That's what the GOATs do, right? They work hard. They have the ability that no one else has, and they work harder than a 7th round pick. So look at Kyler Murray does none of that.
Off-season workouts every year, man. Even after he was the GOAT, like that dude put up more yards and more stats after the age of 40 than most receivers do in their entire career.
100%. All right, Nico, appreciate you coming on. I'll finish up the comments here. You're the shit. Thanks for toughing out in the elements out there with me, man. It was awesome.
Nah, I love it, man. Glad to be on. And go Bears, go Niners. I hope to meet you in the NFC Championship in Chicago, man.
Appreciate it. Give Nico in the chat. Give Nico a round of applause and let him know that you want to see more of Nico next year, because again, me and Nico did the show 2 years, just me and Nico. He is one of the goats. You and Storey are both the goats. Honestly, like I'm so much better because I have hosted shows with you guys. I'll just say that because you're a much better talker than me, much more handsome than me. You know ball more than me. I just have the platform, and I appreciate you coming on and just being you, man. You're my boy. You're my boy, Blue.
Nah, don't sell yourself short, man. I appreciate you, brother. Have a good weekend.
I'm just kidding. I know I'm the GOAT. All right, I'll talk to you, man. Go Niners, bro. Nico, what a joy of a human being he is. I hope he is coming on next year once a week, because we did the show, like I said, for 2 solid years together. He was my second football guy. Rob Kappa was my original guy. That's why you have the R2, Rob squared. He was my 2-year football guy before Storey came on. He's got 2 kids. He's got a wife. So I get that he had to step back, but let's keep on clamoring for Nico to be a once a week appearance, because what a great dude he is. Jason loves Simple Jack, and that's just such a good NFL funny joke. Jonathan Wilson to the Bills. Now that's ideal, because I've heard a lot of names to the Bills, and I need a guy that's feisty, right? I need a guy that's competitive going with Josh Allen. That is the perfect fit. I heard about Shaheed at the trade deadline, even Chris Olave. I would like Michael Wilson more, because Michael Wilson's such a versatile receiver, and that's kind of how they run their system there in Buffalo. I would absolutely love that one, and I owe a beer chug, my dudes. So let's get that going. This one's not quite full, but I'm going to chug it and then play a clip, and then I'll finish out the show solo. It's really fast. All right. Mal Kiper does suck. His hair gel. I'm much more of a Todd McShay guy. Let's see. Where are we at? Darnold for sure. Yeah, we went there. Let's see. Here we are. Respect my gamer. Rams Super Bowl champs inbound and Hoosiers national champs inbound. Pretty confident about the Hoosiers take there. That seemed. I don't watch a lot of college football. I do all my college football watching and all that kind of stuff after the season's over, because I'm looking at the NFL angle, right? I'm looking at the prospects, and I'm still full on fantasy football, NFL football, our fantasy football college league, fantasy football playoff league. Sorry, I'm buzzed. Is going to be awesome. And then my bets as well. So I think Mahomes could have ended up like Stafford if he didn't go to the Chiefs. I mean, if he would, the thing was he was going to go to the Bears. That was the pick. We took Mitch Trubisky. We traded up for Mitch Trubisky over Mahomes, and I don't think it would have not been like it is now with Patrick Mahomes, because that was a great situation. I mean, let's not forget they were doing really well with Alex Smith at the helm. Patrick Mahomes got to sit for a year, which is super awesome. So it wouldn't have been the Mahomes we knew, and the Bears are also awful for quarterbacks. So it's nice with Caleb right now because we have Ben Johnson, but we didn't have Ben Johnson back then. It would have been a mess. He still would have been fine. He wouldn't have flopped like Trubisky did, but it wouldn't have been that same thing. Jonathan, Hoosiers would whoop Philly right now. Where's J-Bob at? We'll see. I wonder if we're going to see J-Bob after the Eagles lose this week, because we have to say that he also said he's putting a lot of money on the Eagles money line, which is crazy because it's like minus 238. So there's no reason of betting that. There's no return on that one. If they lose, it's going to be a double whammy, and he might go into hibernation until next July. Jay, watch the stream on my new 50-inch tonight. Damn straight, dude. Next year, we're going to have the horizontal going on YouTube. I just use the vertical because it gets people in here. We'll have the horizontal, so it would look really slick. You see my chops up there. Nick says it took Stafford going to the Rams. Old as fuck to be recognized fully. Nick, as a Bears fan, I recognized Stafford because the guy's a warrior. He plays injured. He was always awesome. I know he had Calvin Johnson for all those years, but I saw something different in Matt Stafford, and he is always an elite quarterback to me. He was also a first overall pick, but he was awesome in Georgia. So I've always loved Stafford, and what a nice career renaissance. And I think this is kind of changing. I know Tom Brady was one of one in terms of changing the mold, but now we saw, beyond Phillip Rivers coming back at 40-4, which is insane. You see some of these other guys that are, Joe Flacco's resurgence, which Joe Flacco was left for dead for 7 years. Put him in the right situation, smart quarterback, still a big arm. So these pocket guys, in particular, the guys that now are like the pocket passer pluses, right? All the guys dominating the league right now, your Drake Mays of the world, they're going to have such long careers because even when they lose, like Joe Flacco never had athleticism and he could still play at that age. So like Drake May is still going to be at 38, like barring major injury. Drake May at 38 is going to be more athletic than Joe Flacco ever was. So like that, think of like these quarterbacks can play as long as they want with the new rule changes. And it's going to be awesome to see because we've had, there were some rough years of quarterback play. It's still not great in the NFL. There's still some issues, but with Caleb, with the draft class of last year with Caleb and Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels, and it's great. It's a great class, and apparently 2027 is going to be even as good of a class. 2026 isn't great from what I hear. Mendoza seems like the guy, but we don't know about him. But like the next year's class, especially if Arch Manning can get his head out of his ass, it's gonna be amazing. And all these guys are playing for so long. So we might have a league where we have 20 competent quarterbacks, which is going to be amazing. Not competent fantasy quarterbacks. We always have that. I'm talking about like real life quarterbacks. Hoosiers nipped my Buckeyes this year. Pretty evenly matched. Yeah. You know what? The NIL has changed college football, man. It has changed. Colby says Mendoza is a system quarterback. He's got the body, he's got the mold, he's got all that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to say he's a system quarterback, but most guys are a system quarterback, or they need to be in the right situation. How about that? And there's not many guys that are situation proof. And I don't know if Mendoza's that guy. I think there's a few guys that have, like Josh Allen, I feel like is situation proof, but there's not many guys that are. Nick, Lamar and Philly would be more shit show. It's come out he doesn't go to OTAs and practice. Don't need to add to AJ Brown. That is a kind of an underlying thing there with Harbaugh and just that culture there, and they got a little comfortable. And Lamar Jackson may not be the most diligent worker. I guess I would say that. This is all speculation and rumors, though, Nick. We don't know. It would make sense, though. Although the guy's hungry. 2 MVPs and no Super Bowls, no Super Bowl appearances. So Mel Kiper does suck ass. I hate him. I personally want to see the Rams versus Broncos in the Super Bowl, but I don't think Knicks is that guy just yet. Their defense can carry them there. I've actually been pretty disappointed with the Broncos defense this year as a whole with what we were sold. It's still a good defense. Don't get me wrong. I don't feel like it's up to snuff with the Texans and the Eagles defense and the Seahawks defense. I feel like it's still a 4th, 5th best defense in the league, but it comes down to Bo Nix, man. Their defense is fine. It's fine. We've also saw Trevor Lawrence go in there and destroy the Broncos. What was it? They put up 35 points against the Broncos. It was in Denver. And we also saw the first 3 quarters of the Packers-Broncos game. That was also in Denver, that the Packers put up at least 28 points in the first 3 quarters of that game. So Broncos defense can be had. Michael Wilson is fucking amazing. Marvin Harrison is a name. He's just a name at this point. Michael Wilson's better. Colby, Michael Wilson saved not saying saved. I had awesome fantasy year, made the playoffs in 32 out of 36 leagues. But I had Michael Wilson, I'm going to guess, in 17 leagues that I picked him up in. So I won 9 championships of my 36 leagues, and he was on 7 of my teams. So Michael Wilson is beyond that, maybe a lot of money in best ball. Like, I've just always loved Michael Wilson, and the eye test is so much better than the stats. I love Michael Wilson. Let's see. If he wasn't one of the best wide receivers all times, he wouldn't have been going so high in fantasy or in the NFL draft as well, Nick, because his film. I'll say this: Marvin Harrison's film at Ohio State had me salivating. He was a pro-ready receiver. He was the most. He was what they said about Trevor Lawrence coming out of Clemson as a quarterback. He was such a pro-ready receiver, and he looked awesome in Ohio State, and then he just hasn't translated. The hands haven't been good. The route running hasn't been crisp. The competitiveness hasn't been there, and it just was not what we were sold. And this is why I mentioned the theory about Kyler Murray, and maybe some guys, if you're a 4th round pick and you're just a nobody, you can't just lollygag it through your first 2 years of your career because you'll get cut and you might never get another chance. Marvin Harrison was going to get multiple chances with his pedigree, with his size, with who his dad is, with his draft capital. He was always going to get all these chances. So maybe, just maybe, he just said, fuck it. And that's where his laziness and terrible, terrible, terrible techniques and effort has come from. That's what we can hope for. If you're a Marvin Harrison dynasty owner, you're hoping it was a Kyler Murray thing. Because let's be honest, when Kyler Murray got benched and got hurt or whatever the hell that was, and Jacoby Brissett came in, the first 2 games before the appendectomy, Marvin Harrison was balling out. He looked better. The numbers were better. And then the appendectomy happened. And then Michael Wilson happened. And then he came back, had the heel injury. And then the rest is history. But it did look better with Jacoby Brissett. And the effort was better. Everything was better. So let's just hope, if you're a Marvin Harrison fan, dynasty owner, whatever, it's a Kyler Murray problem. I wouldn't blame him because you don't want he's not a leader. Kyler Murray's a bum. He's a fucking garden gnome. Do I still have the clip on here about the garden gnome? I don't think I do, but he essentially a little troll.
Gotta pay the troll toll to get into this boy's hole. You gotta pay the troll toll to get in. You want this baby boy's hole, you gotta pay the troll toll.
Stop. All right, not bad. I feel like you're saying boy's hole, and it's clearly soul. So it's boy's soul.
You gotta pay the troll toll to get into this boy's hole.
Right there, it sounds like hole. Like if you drag that, are you chewing gum?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, I had to grab a beer. All right. A couple more comments here. I'll stick around till I'm done. You know me, man. I don't leave a show until every comment is read. Let's see. I would love Wilson to the Bills. Yeah, but Kyler isn't a good quarterback, so that's why Junior is. That's exactly what I was saying. But we don't know that for sure. The point is, if you're a real professional, you should, it's like going to work at a real corporate job or whatever the hell job you have, and you don't like one of your coworkers. You should still do your best job. Put your best foot forward and give effort. So that's, again, if that's the case, it's a good endorsement for Marvin Harrison, but it's also a bad endorsement because that's kind of soft ass, Gen Z bullshit of well, I don't like my quarterback, so I'm gonna be a pouty little baby. Like, dude, you're getting paid millions of dollars. Show the fuck up and play. That's also your legacy. It's your job. Just fucking do it. There's days I don't want to come in the show. I'm going to give you full fucking effort, full attentiveness, full fucking energy. And if I can do it for free, essentially, sometimes I make $30 on Super Chats on the show. Congratulations. Sweet. The Patreon. I'm going to do it because I love what I'm doing. And if he doesn't love what he's doing, that's an issue with me with Marvin Harrison because I want Michael Wilson clearly is not that guy. He's the opposite. That dude I want to go to war with. Nick, I just want the Panthers to move on from Bryce Young. I'm over him, bro. Shorter than me. Yeah, we call him so Kyler Murray is not the jockey. He's the garden gnome. Kyler Murray's the garden gnome in the show. And Bryce Young's the jockey. And he is probably shorter than you. He's probably shorter than most men, unless you're in Asia. And Bryce Young's fine. He's a starting quarterback in the NFL. He's not a franchise quarterback in my mind. But you're in a tough spot, Nick, in terms of being a Panthers fan, because what do? You get rid of Bryce Young, who's young and still has some upside. And what are you going to do from there? It's not a great world to live in, honestly. It's like it's like the NBA, especially. You don't want to be a middling team like the Chicago Bulls. You want to be playoff team and elite, or you want to be bottom feeders and get the draft capital. And Bryce Young is just good enough to apparently make the playoffs and that kind of stuff. So my Rams will get their revenge from their game from last year's playoffs. I really hope so. We'll see if they can even meet the Eagles, but we'll see. Kobe's 5'11". Wilson to the Bills would be crazy. Let's see. Anyone named Nick O, gotta be the GOAT. You are Nick O. You know what's funny, Nick Offerman? So Ray always assumed that he didn't know Nick O's last name is Ostrick. Ostrick. Anyway, is Nick O, right? He always thought, for all the times that you were on the show commenting, he always thought that you were actually Nick O from the show. And he always said Nick O, and I always call you Nick O as well. But he always thought that was actually the Nick O. And eventually I was like, no, it's actually just Nick O. It's a different Nick O. So, Mark Nico is the man. Looking forward to seeing you more often. Damn straight. Jason, Nick O, fucking great guy. He is a fucking great guy. Colby with some hype for me. Appreciate you. Rob, he says Ron. You can call me Ron too. Rob, you're the man. Always look forward to these lives every night. Appreciate you, Colby. The gullet on you, Rob, you dirty dog. I am pretty dirty. Respect says, I just hope Shador gets an honest chance to play the game and not have to worry about nonsense they put him through this year. It appears they're going to, because they pretty much said he's going to be the starter next year, and they're not going to draft a quarterback. And now, obviously, they're the 4th pick in the draft, so they're not going to have the chance to draft. Definitely not Mendoza, and it appears they're not going to get any of the top 2 guys. So it looks like they're going to roll with Shador, and that's fine. It's weird that they just pulled a 180 on us, where it's like they just fucking put him through the gauntlet with assholes to him, and it's like, whatever, you're not going to play. We're going to start Dylan Gabriel until the injury happened, and now they're just like, well, you're a starter for next year. It just seems like that's just so Browns. Like, be consistent, bro. Like, be consistent and, like, make good decisions, and the Browns will never make good decisions. What a bad organization. Bad organization. And I think Kevin Stefanski was a fine coach. 10.5, man. It's 11 in some books, respect for the Rams spread. And that is a crazy spread, but do you have the balls to bet plus 10.5 in the Panthers? I don't know if I do. Whip Hero, what's going on, man? Don't be surprised if the Jags blow out the Bills Sunday. I have no idea what to do on this game, so I'm kind of staying away, honestly. Jason, I remember watching Joe Flacco and Matt Ryan at the Combine NFL Network on a 20-inch Sanyo TV. Yeah, man, that's how long that was away. By the way, Matt Ryan's probably going to be the president of football operations for the Falcons. I kind of like that. I think Matt Ryan's a pretty sharp dude. Jags have only lost 1 game at home by 8 versus Seahawks. And they're on an 8-game winning streak, so like all that kind of stuff lines up. I do like that one. Colby, I'm not a Broncos fan, but I know Cortland Sutton. We are from the same hometown. His mom has a really, really good restaurant. Hey-oh, I always like Cortland Sutton, man. Nice little, he had a good start to his career. He got the ACL injury, and he has bounced back. He was a forgotten guy in fantasy, and, he's bounced back at a pretty nice little payday as well. Bills will win. A lot of people are very, divided on this game, as I am one of them. Jason, seen the Giants beat the Pats in the Super Bowl and the Rays lose the World Series in Philly in the Sanyo. He's talking about the Sanyo TV. Why do we have no receivers, says Banana Productions. Because you drafted Keon Coleman in the 2nd round is partially why. He was supposed to be your X receiver, and he is terrible and disinterested and misses meetings. And Shakir's fine, but he's just a gadget slot guy. He's fine. You just don't, I don't know. It's Aaron Rodgers had no receivers for a long time outside of Devontae Adams, who they lucked into in the 2nd round, by the way. It wasn't, he was like a really high draft pick. You got to get Josh Allen some weapons, man. You got tight ends. You got that. I was hoping he drafted Shador, moved on from Bryce Young, and have Shador on a great value. I mean, dude, Nick, so you're saying you'd rather have Shador than Bryce Young? Is that what you're saying? Because I could see the reason why. It's a mystery box. We've only seen 6 games from Shador Sanders, but like, he's not the answer anywhere. Like, he's fine. He's okay. Is he the answer? Like, fine is not good enough. Like, you want to be mediocre? Bryce Young and Shador Sanders are your quarterbacks. Like, I don't want any of that shit. And also the headache with Shador. So I want to hear what you think. If you think he's that much better than Bryce Young. While you answer and type, we only have a couple more comments, so I'm going to play Bill Cosby. Good comment. Good comment. I didn't realize it. You were hoping they drafted Shador 100% because in the 5th round contract, like Shador was always a value in the 5th round. He was a value in the 4th round. I think he was a value in the 3rd round. That being said, like, how many 3rd, 4th round, 5th round quarterbacks are franchise guys? So like, good call that they should have. Every team in the NFL should have drafted Shador Sanders in the 5th round. That was unreal. He was essentially blackballed by the NFL for his nonconformity in the pre-draft process, which was pretty much, I mean, not pretty much, it was 100% orchestrated by his father. And it was that, you're a Sanders, you're above all this shit. Yes, what? Fuck that shit, dude. That's bullshit. Shedeur Sanders was never a top 5 talent. He was maybe a first round talent, most definitely a second or third round talent. And everyone in the league should have taken him, but it was a Colin Kaepernick blackball situation. And the Browns my problem with the Browns is drafting Dillon Gabriel. No, maybe they didn't think they'd get Shedeur in the 5th round. They were always tanking this year. Dillon Gabriel is literally 5'9" and awful and 25 years old as a rookie. That was a bad pick. The Shedeur pick was great, but they wasted a 3rd round pick on Dillon Gabriel. So everyone should have taken Shedeur in the 4th and 5th round, 3rd round as well. Trevor Lawrence has the opportunity to make the media eat his words, and he can become a top 5 quarterback with a good playoff run. I'm not going to go top 5 quarterback, but I love Trevor Lawrence. I think, again, I've been defending Trevor Lawrence for years in this show, and he was never going to live up to the number 1 overall pick. It's not just the number 1 pick. It was the fact that the comparisons were he was the best prospect since Andrew Luck, who was the best prospect since Peyton Manning. Those are very, very big shoes to fill. Now, going to Jacksonville as well is not a great situation. Definitely was not with Urban Meyer. And it was always a losing cause based on the Clemson stuff he did, how he was a winner. He was electric. He was never going to be that guy. Now, could he become top 5? I really, truly believe he could, because he is one of these guys I was mentioning they're unicorns. They're pocket passers that are, that are juiced up, right? They have the dual threat. And Trevor Lawrence is also 6'6", 220 pounds. Dude's a monster. And he's actually playing like it now. And thank you, Liam Cohen, for that, for unleashing the guy, because Doug Peterson was telling him to be a pocket quarterback. Urban Meyer was not telling him anything, because Urban Meyer is a piece of shit. I fucking hate Urban Meyer. What a clown Urban Meyer is. I want Urban Meyer to drive a car into a fucking wall.
Hey, what's next? All right, I'm going to gun this car as fast as it goes directly into that wall. Now, judging by the distance, I'm thinking I could get her up to about 60, 70 miles an hour. Definitely. Holy shit, dude! Are you all right? Yeah. Why did you jump out? I'm okay. Holy shit, dude! Okay. Oh my God! I was going too fast. I was going too fast. Oh my God! All right, let's get out of here.
Let's hear some Pat's love from Donnie Gibbons. What's going on, Donnie? Man, I love your future. I mean, the turnaround you guys had after, I love Bill Belichick, but he essentially destroyed your team for 4 straight drafts, and it was not good, the picks he was making, and your roster was so terrible. N'Keal Harry comes to mind. That end of the first round, N'Keal Harry, who ran a 4.6 40 and was 6 foot tall. Stuff like that. The bounce back is insane. Vrabel's an awesome coach. Drake May's the truth, man. This roster is still not good enough. I'm sorry. I don't know. I think you're going to win this first game. I would bet on the Chargers plus 3.5, but I would bet the money. Even though I had to choose like a confidence pool, I'd choose the Patriots. AFC is wide open, though, so I wouldn't be surprised if they did come out of it. But I feel like this is the 1 year too early. They have a lot of talent problems, and they will address them in the offseason. And Drake May's awesome, though. I'll say that. Drake May, if he can pull a Josh Allen type performance, right? It just reminds me of Josh Allen, how his teams have just never been great. He's played awesome games. Now there's no Patrick Mahomes, no Lamar Jackson, no Joe Burrow in these playoffs. So there's no favorite, right? And I don't really like the Broncos, but the other teams are solid. And again, Patriots going forward, love it, love it, love it. They're in top 5 spot in the NFL based on their cap room, their coach, their quarterback. But this year, not going to quite get there. Did you see Trevor Lawrence went to eat at a Waffle House in Jacksonville after their last win? That's awesome. I love Waffle. I love Waffle House, dude. Also, good people watching. Going to Walmart is pretty fun, because you see a lot of those super fat people in the little carts. That's funny. Waffle House is crazy. You might get shot. There's a lot of shootings at Waffle Houses, but I do love Waffle Houses, and that sounds very much like Trevor Lawrence. And also that sounds like the set of an episode of Cops in '97. Is they set it up with Jacksonville, Florida, Waffle House, and there's just a fucking crime. And again, love Cops, by the way. And I know that Cops doesn't start till 4. Hold on. Do I have that? Tell me I have that. Damn it, I don't have that.
Dad, we're men, okay? That means a few things. We like to shit with the door open. We talk about pussy. We go on riverboat gambling trips. We make our own beef jerky. That's what we do. And now that is all wrecked.
We literally have never done any of those things.
Just did Step Brothers on Monday, man. I had all these clips loaded. I deleted some to make room, and that was one of the ones I deleted. I had the cops. I don't know, cops doesn't start till 4. Why are you so sweaty clip? I'm disappointed about that one. So I think he has more upside potential. I know Bryce will never be that dude. No, he won't because of his height, and it's pretty much look at the short quarterbacks. Russell Wilson's a one-off. He also had an all-time defense with Marshawn Lynch behind him. So that was the Russell Wilson experience. And Russell Wilson's a lot thicker than Bryce Young. And these other short quarterbacks, Drew Brees is another one-off, but Drew Brees is taller. And Drew Brees had Sean Payton in an elite system in a dome. That was where Drew Brees excelled. I feel like if Drew Brees didn't go to New Orleans, he would never have been the quarterback he was. So Bryce Young, yes, will never be that dude. It was an act of terrorism to not let, for Doug Peterson not to let Trevor use his legs. And that's Doug Peterson trying to be smarter than everyone else. Like, just because a quarterback uses their legs doesn't make them not a passer. That's what these coaches don't realize. Like, it opens up the pass. It loosens up the defense. It takes pressure off the quarterback on 3rd and 7. Let the quarterback run. And especially when you're young and you're huge. Like Bryce Young, for instance, maybe shouldn't be running that much because he's tiny. He weighs 190 pounds. Trevor Lawrence is a monster of a man. And let him run. Don't run him on quarterback draws, which I actually think they should because they have been doing. That's fine. But like 3rd and 7, no one hits quarterbacks anymore because you get a penalty. So do you think Liam gets coach of the year now? Dude, the coach of the year, this is probably the best coach of the year battle I've ever seen because you have Ben Johnson, you have Mike Vrabel, you have Liam Cohen. Like those 3 names alone, there's other names I might be leaving out. Like it's a McDonald on the Seahawks. Like there's a lot of awesome names for coach of the year because there was only one or two repeat division winners this year. It was a wild year in the NFL. Ben Johnson needs to be thrown in there as well. Whip. I mean, the Bears in that division, winning the division with, the Vikings being a 14 win team the year before, the Lions being the cream of the crop, and the Packers trading for Micah Parsons and all the things. And like the Bears won that division with a second-year quarterback. I mean, the schedule was much tougher for the Bears than it was the Pats. Jason, Drake May is a wicked pissa. I feel like this is a Cinderella story for the Pats. Bucks got Brady and Gronk, and we won a Super Bowl, brother. I love you, Jason. Shout out Jason. If Mark's the number 1 super fan, Jason's the number 2 super fan. Jason's also they've both been on the show. Jason's been on the show 3 times. I think Mark's been on 4 times, something like that. Again, another reason to join the Patreon if you want to get down and join the community. I like to support my guys that are supporting me. So this is a community, and this is why this show is the best and will be the best because you guys control the contents. And I don't have, I'm not on a high horse, and anyone that wants to come on the show. If you want to help support me, are welcome to come on the show, talk some ball, talk some other shit, maybe talk about Hitler being Walt Disney like Hastings did. What a guy Hastings is. Whip Hero, if the Jaguars somehow win the Super Bowl, the Duvall Liam meme is going to be the funniest thing. It's going to be the biggest thing, dude. Real quick. All right, a couple more comments to get to. I got a beer to finish. I didn't play this little tiny dancer, Kenneth Walker. If you want to support your boys, me in particular, Patreon. Thank you to the Patreon subscribers currently. Appreciate all you guys. Jason, there you are. Appreciate you. A lot more than just supporting your giving. You're getting a lot of stuff here. Access to the Discord, 74 people strong. Community fantasy leagues. We're doing a dynasty startup in May. We're going to do about 5 or 6 redraft leagues in August. All different price ranges too. Play against me, Storey, Nico, Hastings, Ray, all the hosts in the show. Guest appearance in the show, free merchandise giveaway. You want this hat? Boom, boom, boom. Giving one away here in about 6 days. Every month I give away a hat, as well as access to the bets, the early release of the bets. I do post these on a video a day before the game started. I do put them in the stream, but the day before. I release these 4 or 5 days right when they drop is usually when I make these lines and these prop bets. The odds always change, so you're not going to get the same odds. 86 and 51, gentlemen. I will give you the bets for this weekend before I log off. Here you go. Only 4 plays this weekend. I wanted to add the Texans -3. Got talked out of that one. I wanted to add the Bills money line. Got talked out of that one. But Puka Nacua over 88 yards. Jahan Dotson over 6.5 yards. Glad McConkey over 3.5 receptions. And Aaron Rodgers under 210 passing yards. The Rodgers one is probably my least confident one, even though it should be a smash. But that's Aaron Rodgers' last game, possibly. Who knows? And I think that Jahan Dotson's also quite. I don't necessarily love these, but again, the record speaks for itself. 86-51, 4 straight years of domination on this channel, and they're all documented. They're all receipts are given at the time, and they're all even odds bets, like -120. I rarely even do -120. They're all -110 bets typically. So we're making a lot of good money on the show. We'll continue to years to come. So if you want to support your boys, professionalfanatics.com, get you all the info, get in the Patreon, get in the Discord, join the community, guys, because this show is only going to take off. We're going still 4 or 5 nights a week until football starts. We're doing 6 or 7 nights a week once April hits, when that's a lot of NFL draft content. I have a couple, obviously Storey is the college football expert in the show. We have 3 or 4 other guys that will be coming on talking about the draft picks and the draft, some good edges on bets as well. Jason, Kenneth Walker got a bye week to work on his moves. Oh, he's going to be dancing like Michael Jackson out there, motherfucker. You could bet your ass on that one. So professionalfanatics.com if you want to. I know a couple of you guys are in here a lot. Trone, Nick, I don't know about you, Banana. Colby, if you're still in here, why the hell not, man? Support your boy, who is making this a career, or trying to, and it's not been very lucrative, but I got 3 years, I think, that I could do this and still like stay afloat and not be homeless. And then at that point, if I'm homeless, I can't do the show because I wouldn't have internet access, and my wife would leave me too. So she might leave me in a year. I have a 1-year thing where she can stay with me if I do this, because she's probably salty that I'm still paying the bills, but it's not great. I don't have a great house. I have heat and AC and shit. It's window units, though. I have window units. So let's help me out getting non-window units so I can actually have like central air and have a better studio. And let's go, man. I feel like a homeless guy asking for change, but I feel like I offer a pretty good service to y'all. Also, entertainment, motherfucker. We are entertaining as fuck. Where are we at here? A couple more comments. Where are we at? Feels like both them and the Packers are limping into the playoffs. We're talking about the Bears. Yeah, Bears and Packers both limping. The Packers are limping in with injuries. The Bears are limping in with performance. And yeah, man, I feel like the Packers need this game more, if that makes sense, because the trade for Micah Parsons, not having their first-round pick. The Bears are an up-and-coming team that have exceeded expectations, right? It was always the Caleb Williams development show that mattered, and Ben Johnson, can he be a good coach? And we've seen both those things exceed by a mile. So again, it doesn't mean that Bears are going to lose and the Packers are going to win, but the Packers need this game. Rams tomorrow. Well, yeah, the Rams should crush tomorrow. The question is, will the Rams cover the spread? That's the question. 10.5, 11, depending on the thing. Also, if you're in here, you're not subscribed to the channel. Like, what are you doing? Build the brand, subscribe, like, support, all those kind of things. All right, I'm pretty drunk, and I have people coming over for the games tomorrow. We will be live tomorrow night for an open bar show with Big Ray. It's Big Ray's birthday today, by the way, so he'll be probably pretty hungover tomorrow night. So we'll be on tomorrow night, Sunday, and Monday, and then maybe Tuesday off. Again, I'm still doing 5 shows a week this time of year, so you're going to see a lot of us. And if not, if we're on a day off, hop in the Discord and we answer all of the questions. We have a great community there talking. So, Jason, you the man, Rob. Love you, bro. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Much respect, bro. Appreciate you, Jason. Jason, Jason's the number 1 contributor to this show, by the way. Jason is 20% of the funding for this show, believe it or not. I don't know if it's 20%, but for one man, it's a big contribution. And Jason, you're the real professional fanatic, bro. I appreciate you more. And also, you're just fucking hilarious, and you're like my kind of dude. So I really want to, at some point, come down and hang out with you in Florida, or in a year or two, what I want to do, if this shit really takes off. I mentioned on the show the other night, I want to have a professional fanatics like yearly retreat to like Vegas. We could do. I have a guys trip I do every year with like a group of guys. It's like 12 or 14 guys. Usually it's a golf trip. But there's more than just golf. We went to Louisville last year. Last June, it was a whiskey golf tour, right? Like a bourbon golf thing. Every year we do that. So I want to do that with you guys. Obviously it's going to take a year or two for me to afford another vacation. I'm taking with my wife already, but something like that where it's like the top 20 or however many people want to come in, right? And just every year we get together, and it could be maybe during the NFL draft. It could be any time, right? Vegas. It could be any destination. We all meet and just like have a rager for 3 fucking days, because I feel like we're all like-minded, positive, upbeat, just good people. And that's what I'm trying to attract, right? And that would just be a fucking great time. It would be legendary. I wonder how many arrests we made. And it wouldn't be violent arrests, but it would be, probably public intoxication and like public like indecency, because we're pissing on like walls. So, it's like I go back to Big Daddy where he's like tells his kid like to piss in the fucking like window there of like the Starbucks, something like that. Innocent fun, something like that. So I think in the works and in the coming years, we should all try to get something like that together, and that would just be a great way to, like we all kind of know each other, so it'd just be great to all meet and just have some real life shenanigans, which we all love. And Vegas is dying, man. Like it's cheaper to go there now than it used to be. Super overrated. I've been to Vegas, 13 times. My parents live 2 hours away from Vegas, so that's where I fly into whenever I see them. They've been there since 2006, so I've made a lot of Vegas trips, and I like 1 or 2 nights there. It's epic, but it's overrated from what you see from movies, but still a great time. All right, gentlemen, a couple more questions here if you want to pop them in, comments, whatever. Otherwise, tomorrow night, it'll probably be like 10:30, maybe 11 p.m. Central Time. Recap the Saturday games, preview some more on the Sunday games. Also, just an open bar show with me and Ray, just getting all kind of wacky and wild. You know what we do around here.
Yeah, I was between that and Muhammad.
Why the fuck would it be between that or Muhammad? Why don't you just pick a common name like a normal person?
Muhammad is the most commonly used name on earth. Read a fucking book for one.
Wow, we almost did 2.5 hours, or over 2.5 hours tonight. There was that stretch in the middle of the season where I feel like a lot of them were like 3.5, or I did like 3 or 4 4-hour shows. One of those was a solo show, I believe, 4-hour solo show, which is just fucking crazy for me. Obviously, I love what I do, and I love interacting with all you guys. So appreciate everyone here. Appreciate the chat. Thank you for the 6 supers I got tonight. We will talk to you guys tomorrow, and talk to you in the Discord. So love your life, stay positive, and respect each other. I am out of here. We'll see y'all later.